Hello, welcome to Juggz.
Hi. Welcome to Juggz.
Hi. Hello, first Juggz of 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
2025.
Yeah.
Love hearts.
Let's do the little love hearts.
I'm going to do those. I hate the nipple ones. I hate it so much, but I'm doing it.
Hello everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. And
Sticking with our Juggz.
I think we're going to have a super exciting 2025.
I can't wait.
It'll be the Juggz' first birthday.
When is
Yes.
Juggz' first
I'll let you know. Then also we're doing like a Juggz live seminar at ChillCon.
Oh my God, we
are,
are.
yeah.
We might all be at Adepticon.
Yes,
Shut up.
there's a potential because I'm going to do some stuff with Army Painter because I've joined their factory team now. Which
Whoa,
basically-
this
What
is
does that mean?
huge
What does
news.
that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What's
that
it
means
mean?
I do more stuff with them. I
Oh.
do like a little bit of content for them as well.
Cool.
I'm kind of sponsored by them anyway to use their
yeah.
paints, but there's probably going to be like more stuff I work with them. I get t-shirts. I get to go to like
Oh my God,
events and stuff
lucky.
like that.
Can I get a
so-
t-shirt?
I
We
mean-
love Army Painter in this
I mean, we'll
family.
have to mention to Adam on Friday about your special project you want to do. And
Oh, he
The
loves
project.
see if we get
that.
sponsored by
The
Army Painter.
project.
Oh, if you
I actually
can
reached
get
out to Adam this week
sponsored.
because Tom, I started doing some painting this week, and then I really needed an orange, and I haven't found an orange that I loved.
Uh-oh.
And then I was like, and I messaged Tom, who's like works with me and Louise as a sculptor. I was like, give me an orange.
Also
He's like, just
great
Army
painter.
painter. I was like, Army painter. He's like,
Yeah, got
that's
some
so
great
good.
ones, yeah.
Like, and I was like,
So Rob bought a couple of the new, is it the new
the
range?
Fanatic ones.
Fanatic.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, these are great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't used them yet, but apparently
I,
they are
They're
very
good for people like me
What do you
because,
mean?
I used the leather brown,
Yeah.
and it took one coat.
Yes.
Oh,
and
you
I was a
love
bit
that.
like, I reckon that this may be like a painter might be like, there'd probably be something they say, which I don't
it's a bit
understand.
too much or
Yeah,
something.
or something.
It's
I don't know,
really
that
interesting
feels good.
I used Citadel for a long time,
Yeah.
and I moved to AK for a while, and their paints were like really opaque with coverage and stuff, and they were like really vibrant colours.
Yeah.
I had a few issues with some of the older Army Painter stuff
Mhm.
before they did the Fanatic range, but the new stuff. So there's
I'm going to
one,
hold my hand up, Adam, and I've literally said this down my face. Old paint's rubbish.
yeah.
Yeah. Old paint's absolute
Rude.
garbage.
I never used them, so I do not have an opinion, but well done on your new paints.
But no, they're really, and I also like they come in sets of 6 from dark to light shades.
Rob loved that.
Can I tell you why I love that?
Yeah.
Because
Give
I'm
us your
dumb.
shopping experience.
No,
Give us your whole
it's-
experience.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no! Why am I starting?
Because we like you.
2025. Less Rob, more Peachy
No,
and Louise.
Are you
No.
kidding?
Yeah.
More Rob, more often.
No,
Yes.
no. Yes, Tom was like, "Go get these paints." So I went and got the paints, and I was like, "I'll try brown out." And I tried the brown out, and it was good. The orange was good, and I had 0 complaints. And that's the end of my shopping
And when
experience. But it did have,
Yeah.
as I was picking the paints up from the rack, it did have like, "Hey, we've got colors
Yeah.
in this range."
So Rob's like, oh, I want the darkest brown. And you knew that when you picked it up, it was the darkest one.
Yeah, that was
But
ace.
also it says like dark browns as a range of colours.
Yes.
Yes.
As well as the interesting names like brigandine brown.
Well,
Or,
one of the things I like about Pro Acrylics, it's like, this is blue green. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
This
not
is so
Wirrim
tech.
scale, not Wirrim butthole color.
So tech whimsy.
Yeah.
I think it was Cubertown that kind of like did something with Army Painters to get the,
Yeah.
because he was on about like a lot of
Who?
colourblind people.
Goobs.
Goobs,
Oh,
Brent.
Goobs.
Shout out to Goops.
Yeah,
Love you,
he
Goobs.
was saying that there's so many ranges of colours out there. And I agree completely with Brent's attitude on that, which is like,
Silly
when you
names.
name like something like Gal Vorback Red, what the hell does that look like?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're colourblind or you're new to colours,
bullshit.
what does that mean?
It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
It means
Yeah.
nothing. So
Yeah,
when
it's
you have
absolute-
like cool reds, dark reds, bright oranges,
Yeah.
brown oranges, you kind of get an idea of what
We
that
just
looks
name it
like.
after
in your
the
mind.
Yeah,
pigment.
Brent turned up with like a hammer in his hand. Was like, "We're going to smash up the factory that's making these names." I'm like, "I'm in." Like, I immediately.
Me and you, Brent, let's go.
Me and you, Brent. Like in the dead of night.
Let's go. Wait, what was the one that they had like Briar Queen Chill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how about chill on your names, you fuck?
Good one, Rob.
So, wait, hold on. Let's celebrate Peachy. Peachy, congratulations.
Oh yeah, that's
So
really
you're
good.
you're
the
a
factory team,
studio,
yeah.
a factory.
I still need to find out all the details of what that actually means, but
Okay.
there's a bunch of people
Manual
that work,
labor.
manual labour, yeah.
6
But there's
days
a
a
bunch
week.
of content creators.
What if it was that? It was like, do you want to join a factory team? You signed it. It's just a 0-hour contract. We're making the paint.
back to the smelters for me. I yearn for the mines, Rob. I yearn for the mines.
Oh, that's cool. So they reached out to you, and
Yeah, he's been
That's
wanting
great.
me to get on it for a while. There's like Sam Lenz is on it. I think Eric Hobby Workshop was on it for a time as well. There's a few
oh my god, some very
content
fuckable people.
Robert.
Sorry, I
Stop
apologize.
just phone Eric. Stop it.
So yeah, I'm excited, and it means I get to go because I've been wanting to go to Adepticon anyway. It's just me having to organise myself and buying flights and
welcome to our life.
So so having
Tom's life,
a company that can sort that out for me, and I just go, how much do I need to pay for the flight?
It's the dream, isn't it?
What?
Just having a company be like, hey, would you like to join us here? And you're like, yes, please. I've always wanted to go there. This is a massive deal for me.
Yeah, the effort is because we are going to Adepticon as well.
Yes.
So I think actually maybe that we should say that.
Can I say it?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Because I'm really scared of flying, so I need to big myself up and actually be like, no, I'm going.
We need to make sure we got the same plane because then you're with.
Oh the plot armor, plot armor. We need to. If Taylor Swift or Zendaya, if you're going to travel, will you please travel with me? Because you literally cannot die, or else everyone will be like, this is not real.
This sucks.
So I need to travel with someone with plot armor.
Yeah.
I think Peachy's great.
Yeah.
I can see you die.
I know. I mean,
what the fuck?
No,
because it would be tragic that we both died together.
No, well, I've already seen that. I mean, you break your legs in the ice, and we have to drag you across and fight polar bears.
Stop bringing up this journey.
It's maladaptive thinking, and I can't help it.
I'm maladaptive. Of course, I'm bringing it up.
No, I think I'm the kind of all tropes in movies where the what would you call them? Not the master. I guess the master.
Yeah.
Eventually has to die so the apprentice becomes the master.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to die so Charlie becomes the next army painter.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's probably
He's really good at it already. Has he organized your paints recently?
No, but he didn't need to because he's organized them so well. I've not needed to reorganize them. So
let's go, Charlie Peach.
Yeah, let's go, Charlie Peach.
And that was all the Fanatic stuff as well. So that was all.
There you go, tiny sponsor.
Because he was looking at all the colours.
Have you used the? I have been. There's a guy on Instagram. Shout him out. I don't really do Instagram much, but Felix's Wolf or something. He's kind of like I don't know. He literally might have 200 followers because I don't know who I follow on Instagram.
Show us a picture. I might know. I'm bad at names.
No, I don't think. Anyway, maybe he's an incredibly massive YouTuber. Maybe he's got 3 followers. I don't know.
Either way.
Those are the people who I follow.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But he's been doing showing the speed paint metals.
Oh, yeah, they're amazing. Yeah.
And I haven't used them. Have you used them yet?
Yeah.
Speed
what are they?
Metals?
So
I don't believe it. And then I saw the guy literally doing a brush with it, and I was like,
how does this work?
So the idea really is if you do it over white, I use them over metallics.
Oh, so you don't necessarily have to use them over metallic?
I've used them over other colours.
It's like a metallic. Imagine contrast, but metallic.
Yeah, it's like a metallic contrast. So, I mean, a lot of contrast paints and speed paints are desirable.
He's like, no, bullshit.
For the best effects, you do it over really light colours, but I tend to pick a colour that works for the army and use it. But the golds, the silvers cover really well. But usually when I'm doing metallics for the first coat, I tend to thin it down quite thin anyway.
Oh, really?
And the speed paint metallics are kind of at that level I'm after, and then I can just dry brush up after, or because you can paint black, put the hoplite gold on, and it still looks like gold.
Oh, what the heck!
I really wish paints. You go into your store, and you just said that's the level I'm after.
Yeah,
I wish they were just they broke it up. They were like dumb idiots, and then the next stage was okay, and the last stage was you know what you need. Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
that is the promo shot. Let's not be fooled by marketing. That is the promo shot.
I am fooled.
Yeah, a bit of fool.
I am.
I wondered if you'd used them.
Oh yeah, I've used them loads. I mean, going back, I'll skip back a little bit.
Try it.
So I was using all these other paints, and I started using the Fanatic stuff, and I rate them really well.
Yeah.
That's not because I'm sponsored. It's just because I only get sponsored by.
How about this? I rate them really well.
Yeah.
And because I used them the other day, and I'm a moron, and I'm sponsored by nobody.
How about this? We only do sponsors of things that we like.
Exactly. I know it sounds wild, but I don't do
if
any
I like
sponsors. Something, I will, and they sponsor me. I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. I'm convinced. I'm not convicted. Conviction.
Send me to jail.
You're a man of your own convictions.
That's the word. I'm not convicted. I am.
Jesus, PG.
But yeah, I mean, a few painters that I've spoken to, big ones, people that are just doing a bit of hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Some really like them. Some are like, oh, I don't like the greens and reds. The reds are too pink. The greens are too meh. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean. When I was using the leather brown, exactly. Yeah. I was like, someone else is going to tell me these aren't good.
And these aren't new either.
No. I think they came out.
Literally 2022.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I am behind.
Oh, the speed paints.
Yeah, the metal ones.
Yeah, I think someone's going to tell me that they're bad. I also was using Procreate paints at the same time, and they're nice.
The way I see Fanatic paints from my painter is the colours that Games Workshop should be and the level that you'd expect from some of the higher end paint companies, because let's not beat around the bush. Games Workshop is a miniatures company, not a paint company.
Yeah.
So they're renowned for not always making great paints. And sometimes they get some really good stuff done.
I've never found something I like more than Averland Sunset.
Yeah.
And also the customer experience, just like you said, like Avalon Sunset, you mean the base yellow? like that customer experience is pretty poor. Like, like knowing the 3 or 4 colors that you should buy.
Unless it's the only thing you've ever known, and then it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the situation I was in for a very long time.
Yeah, I do wonder if there's some intent behind that, but I doubt it.
But you struggle to get out of the ecosystem once you're in it.
I mean, I was embedded in it for a long time.
Yeah, me too. I've been fine.
I mean, it was my role as an army painter to use nothing but those Ranger paints for 15 years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, well, maybe not. I don't know. It is how a lot of people compare things. So, for example, and we're going to talk about this later, the new Gundam tabletop game that's coming out. Yeah. People are like, oh, so it's 40k for Gundam. And it's like, absolutely not.
It's Battletech for Gundam, I think. That's the market they're after.
What's the Warhammer one where it has
Underworlds?
Underworlds, yeah. But people are saying it's 40k for Gundam, and it's like
it's definitely Battletech for Gundam. Because that's also
I don't think
Hexagon.
We've ever talked about the Battletech incident on this.
We don't want to talk about the Battletech incident.
I want to.
The Battletech incident.
I'm talking about the Battletech incident.
Oh my God. Okay, well, let's do this later. Let's keep going with Peachy. So congratulations.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And then, but also that means we can tell everyone we're going to be at Adepticon.
Well,
me and Rob and maybe Tom.
And also Peach.
And also
Peach come to Adepticon. But I need to be so brave. If anyone has plot armor, I'm talking.
Get on that plane.
I'm talking like pregnant lassies. I'm talking. I'm talking like you're down on your luck and you've just got your golden
kids
ticket.
At home, and you're the only parent.
At home and you're the only parent.
We'll buy you a ticket.
What else?
James Bond, you need him on the plane.
If you're a spy, if you're, if you got some plot armor and you go into Adepticon, hit me up. Is what I'm saying.
All right. Okay. Perfect.
Pregnant lassies. Just 8 pregnant lassies
surrounding you.
Like there's no way, and like 20 nuns. Like
nuns always die in the movies.
No, just like when's the last time that nuns died in a movie?
I mean, Whoopi Goldberg didn't die in Nuns on the. No, that's Nuns on the Run. That's
Sister Act. Oh, happy day.
What nun movies are you watching?
Downloaded the wrong nun movie.
They're running.
Nuns with the guns.
But yeah, if I have I don't know, 20 nuns.
Sister Act, that was it.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Sister Act. Yeah. I love Sister Act.
1 or 2?
I like 1.
Really?
Yeah, I like Sister Act 1.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Well, Peach, you?
1, because I don't recall 2 that much.
I absolutely think you're crazy. And Lauryn Hill in it at the height of her fame. Number 2, you're obviously mental. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard you two say. Everyone at home were like, yeah, Rob, bring them up on this because this is outrageous.
They do
I don't remember Sister Act 2. Are you off your rocker?
You're not rallying the comment section.
The comments are going to be behind me so hard on this.
You're not on it.
This is insane.
I don't know how to feel about this.
I mean, they're saying why did Peachy get Whoopi Goldberg mixed up with Robbie Coltrane?
Because right now, 2 people who stopped the video just put some Coolio on, and they're just
it's a great movie.
Okay.
Anyway,
where were we?
20 pregnant lassies.
No, not that.
Nuns.
Not nuns.
Imagine it in the news if it was plane crashes with 50 pregnant lassies on it.
But girl survives in middle.
Buffered by 50.
Okay. Right. Let's try to bring this back on track. Peachy.
They're so soft and buffery.
It's true.
They're not dodgems, Louise. You're not bouncing off them.
Mrs. Peach used to whack me every now and again with a big bump.
Oh, that's
not
so
on purpose.
Cute.
Not on purpose.
Shout out to Liz.
Just slapping you.
Just because you just don't have any sense of
spatial awareness.
Spatial awareness.
Because you inflate so
Weekly
quickly.
shout out to Liz.
I remember becoming a teenager and my hips were constantly bruised.
Oh,
because I was just smacking it off things constantly. Anyway,
sorry, Rob.
You become a super champ,
an ambassador,
an army painter for army painter.
Army painter for army painter,
but might also be having to do a couple of shifts in the factory. You don't know what you've signed.
I'm hoping that because they have their factory in Denmark.
Yeah.
So
the home of Lego.
Do you remember Ian Huxley? he used to work in publications, and he started.
Yes.
He was in charge of.
I do.
White Dwarf for a time, and then did the part work stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
He now works for Army Painter.
Oh my God, does he? How is he?
He's great.
Oh,
he lives now in Denmark with his family.
That's quite
They
nice.
all moved over. So.
Oh no, what a tragedy living in a paradise. Yeah, he must be having a terrible time.
Aren't they going to buy America now as well?
Oh, no, that's Greenland. They're buying.
I thought it was haven't Denmark expressed interest as well?
In buying America, I think maybe.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of like passport change in the next couple of years. It's going to be crazy. So, Peach, what else have you done over the Christmas period? And because that's a cool kickoff for 2025.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of recording before Christmas, but the way that obviously I have these ideas of like, I'm going to record 3 videos before Christmas and then release them and then give myself a bit of a buffer. That was working. Because I did like a Rohan video, which I filmed.
Oh.
I did the year in review, which I filmed on like game stuff. And I did last minute a video about making a playset for Charlie.
That's cute.
Because I was going to do it anyway.
That was cute.
I wanted to make it. I thought I might as well make content out of it.
Yeah.
So I released that on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And then the Rohan one, I thought I'll do that the week after. I was like, oh, no, actually, no, it's New Year. I might as well do the year in review thing.
Yeah, that
so
makes
I had
sense.
this other video in the bag. But then I'm doing something with Loot Studios because I got a new game coming out.
Ooh.
And it means firing up the 3D printer, fix the 3D printing.
Yay!
So that's gone great. I've had a few little errors here and there, like things I haven't printed properly on the.
But do you think you're getting better at it?
The prints are much better. And it's all because it was heat. I thought the room was a lot warmer than it was. I got some thermometers. I got one of those little beer vats, belt heater things that you wrap around the little tank thing. And then once in a six side. Reached out as well, and he suggested. So he has a channel about 3D printing, and he suggested a few like tweaks on some of the settings.
Said it was heat as well when we came to him with some problems. Rob doesn't really.
I went out yesterday in -2 weather and just sprayed my minis.
No, but that's actually
YOLO.
I mean, it sounds like it should be a James Bond title.
But also, I just print minis in. I print minis in the cold, and they print fine. We've just upgraded Rogue Hobbies print factory.
We did. We spent some money cash. And we're going to make Rob's print room nice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Number one, because my print room, maybe people don't know this, my print room is actually in an old toilet.
It's a girl's toilet.
Yeah.
Which is actually, got a good little workspace and some sinks.
Yeah, but probably
terrible.
Terrible. It is terrible.
Actually terrible.
Yeah. It's also quite dark in there.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
not
always
that.
know you go in that dark room. I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
So having that done up, but we also got some new printers. I don't know if you know, I bought some new printers.
Yeah.
So we're deep in the printer mines because obviously we've got to make a bajillion because we've got ChillCon.
Yeah.
It's like we essentially have like a month where there's like 3 events that we are going to be hopefully selling goblins at.
Yeah, which are like back to back. So and ChillCon.
We don't know how many we're going to sell, but we're aiming high.
Aiming high. If you goblins, get ready. And also, can we say how many goblins new will be there?
4?
2.
2.
Yeah, there'll be over the next 3 months. There'll be 2 new goblins.
Wow,
that means I need to start designing them. So
which means I need to.
Rob and Tom are in that. Yeah. Well, that comes later. Yeah. Tom needs to sculpt it first, and then I need to paint it.
Yeah.
But Tom says he's going to sculpt paint one of them.
Oh, nice.
It's a special one. I won't give anything away, but I'll be doing the regular goblins, and Tom is going to do the special one.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun.
In the same way as Tom painted the scenic base.
Yeah.
Remember for Salute?
Really
yeah. So he's great at painting. So I'm more than happy for him to like take bigger projects.
What is he not good at?
Very little.
Dealing with people.
Okay.
Emotions.
Straight up. Straight up.
He's tier 4, isn't he?
He's a completely different tier.
I'm glad we remembered the tier system. But yeah, we'll have some new goblins to sell.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hopefully, which is very exciting. Good. I just need to design them.
Is that for the year, or do you have like more?
Oh,
no, that's just
for like the first couple of events.
Yeah, we had a business meeting the other day. Like, it was more like, because... So yeah, this will be the bit I talk about later. But
why don't we talk about it now?
No, because I want to we're going to go on with Peach. But like the quick TLDR is, we had a meeting and sat down because actually now Louise has had her first year of doing stuff like a bit more, nearly 2.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's the goblins and stuff, and it's kind of like, what the fuck are we doing? Because everything, we've talked about Juggz. The main thing about being a content creator is it sometimes feel like it's accidental. Like when you started your channel, you were never like, I'm going to become a worker in the army paint factory or whatever it is you're now doing. Yeah. Like,
I'm going back to the mines.
I just make paint now.
I'm going to fill every paint pot with Peachy flesh. Just going to get Peachy flesh and put it in all of them.
But, you know, I genuinely think this is like a journey of accidents in many ways.
Oh, absolutely. Totally, I never expected to get into Gundam. Or do anything outside of Warhammer.
Exactly. All the games I've learned over this last year.
Exactly. And so like, but now with a bit more focus, we had a sit down meeting the other day. We're like, okay, maybe plan a bit.
Yeah.
Like a bit.
Nah.
With your model releases, do you think like working like quarters, or is it just like...
That's kind of like, the idea is for me to maybe do 4 goblins a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Smart.
Yeah.
But sometimes that doesn't quite work out. Like there was like, I think around Salute last year, we had like 2 goblins quite close together. And then towards the end of the year, we had like slightly less and a scenery kit and stuff like that. But that's the idea.
Well,
maybe like
I think also,
how you get on, right?
Yeah, I think also like there's kind of in the background, like, is Rascal Town going to be like a Cartoon Network TV show?
I've always said I want to pitch it. I want it to be a puppet show.
But is it going to be a puppet show? Yeah.
I want it to be a Jim Henson puppet show.
That's amazing.
I know. It's literally my life ambition. I've been this close to like
it's
emailing
happen,
the Jim.
I know what she's like. Yeah.
It's been like this close to like emailing the Jim Henson company with like a little handwritten
Don't do this close,
letter.
just email them.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then also, like, is it going to be a storybook? It'll probably be a game at some point. It'll definitely be a book people can buy.
I'd like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
the
like,
little
but
rascals of Rascal Town learn how to fucking behave themselves.
Little rascals.
learn how to fucking sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up before I give them a beating.
So many kids using the F words in primary school.
Wow. These rascals going to sit the fuck down.
sit the fuck down before I sit you the fuck down. I like the idea. It's just like the rascals just fucking...
On a slight tangent and funny note, that was a word that was going around the nursery and year 1 reception.
Is that how it works? Is it like a disease?
So we had an email going, just to let you know, the F word has been used through the nursery and reception. So can you please be mindful when teaching your children language?
The F word has been just like
Kids
one of them.
Don't know what it means.
That's so funny.
I said the C word at a family barbecue once. That was
you dropped a hard C.
I didn't know what it meant. I called my brother a C-U-N-T.
This is when you were a kid, not when you were an adult.
As a kid, I just called my brother a C-U-N-T, and my dad roared at me, and I didn't walk for a week.
You've done Adepticon before, haven't you, Peach?
No, never done Adepticon.
Me neither.
But you've been to America.
I've been to America, yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that's delightful is how much Americans love it when English people drop the C word. Like, it's just delightful. They're all like, oh my God, he did it. They love it. They love it.
It was someone that said this to me, and she's American. She went twat.
Yeah.
And I found it so funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
The difference between twat and twat.
Yeah.
It sounds like we should be saying twat.
Yeah.
Because like it's like the posher version of twat.
Yeah.
But they're saying it.
Yeah, but dropping the C-bomb is so funny in America.
They don't use the W word.
They don't use that.
It sounds like flanker.
Oh, flanker. I can say it, Peachy can't. Flanker.
All right, listen. Liz has got to listen to this, so let's not... Slow it down. Sorry, Liz.
Tone it down.
Right, okay. Back on focus. Rascal Town will be huge. But before we talk about that, Peach, so you're releasing some videos?
Yep. So something about the Christmas video, which is really wholesome. I had loads of comments, lots of wholesome comments. It was really nice. Normally, when you look in your... It's a terrible idea. You look at your percentage of thumbs up versus thumbs down because you can see that.
I've never looked, but now I will.
It's interesting that I still get like 16 people thumbsing down, and that could be mistakes, but that's
It's the same 16 people.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite regular. Just people that don't like me, which is fine. Totally get it. I do believe that it's the odd one that might just like accidentally click it because Liz has done that a few times.
Yeah.
Liz is number one here.
Yeah, she's always sorting down. Maybe it's Liz. She's got 16 accounts.
Just keeps things interesting.
But the Christmas video. I think it was the Grinch. I had 1 thumbs down.
What?
Like 1,700 thumbs up.
That's an incredible percentage.
So it was like 99.9%.
Imagine being that one guy now to know that you were all alone.
You're the Grinch.
You're the only one.
You wanted Christmas to go away.
People enjoy the videos and such?
Yeah.
Like
it's been really nice. I really enjoyed it. I had a good break over Christmas as well.
Did you?
And I managed to do a couple more of those workbench weeklies, I'm calling out, not Wednesdays, because it doesn't always happen on Wednesday. But yeah, exporting's going really well.
Yay.
That really quick. I had an issue with the last one I did where it froze on the export at the end. And I just thought it was just taking its time because sometimes it tells you one number and it means something
It'll be
else.
99% for 10 minutes for no reason.
And I uploaded the workbench thing to Patreon, and then the last 4 minutes, the audio was there. It was just the image was frozen.
Oh, weird.
And I've looked at the footage, and the footage is a bit janky. So I'm like, I think it might be the footage then that's done it, or it was something to do with the export.
It's scrambled a bit.
But I'm like, do I actually make the effort for those last 4 minutes of a 22-minute video?
On a Patreon, especially, yeah.
So I'm going to have a look at, see if I can fix the footage if it's a bit, because it went a bit funny.
Oh, interesting.
So
I'm sure we could fix it.
Yeah.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having problems with audio, but that's just me.
Welcome to my life.
So I did a dumb thing.
I like that you checked the audio.
I messed with the audio before I cut it up, right? And now I've looked at YouTube, and there's a really cool like multimedia thing that you can click.
Yeah.
And you can like, even when you've cut your footage, it still looks at that track and it does it for all of it, because I was doing every little bit of cut individually.
Yeah, no.
Which was taking ages.
Yeah.
But I've faffed with it so much that my audio is really weird, so I'm going to have to like delete lots of stuff and then go back over and redo it.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I see.
So I've basically done all these like little
sometimes a good trick is if you're importing a raw file, like let's say you've recorded 40 minutes and then you're going to chop it down. All you do is stick it in, apply your like audio effects, whatever you would do, you'd be like, yeah, that sounds perfect. Then export that whole thing and then start chopping up that file.
Okay, yeah.
And that way you don't have to like.
That's smart.
Each individual one. That's a very viable way. You can also kind of do it in Audition, but that's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I found like sometimes people say, "I'll put it through like Adobe Podcast," but my files end up being too big for that. So I can't.
Yeah,
just put it in Premiere, add your changes, export it, bring it back, start cutting it up.
Bibbidi bobbidi done.
Bibbidi bobbidi bum.
And then I got a game called Tiny Glades over Christmas and played that. I love
that
game.
Tiny Glades, the one where you build all the little villages. It literally, as soon as I started playing that, I'm like, I want to start doing terrain now.
So I literally thought, I was like, this is really good for designing because it has like a small surface area.
Could you explain it in more detail?
We should. Yes, so it is it's a comfy game.
It's a cozy
sandbox. Village builder, and there's no sort of like, you don't get attacked, you don't go to war, there's no people, you just build like nice little houses, but you have like a house shape which you can stretch, widen, thin.
It's like having different brushes, but the brushes are things like terrain, houses, little
windows,
lakes,
doors, flags, chimneys, fences.
I love all the little elements. Like if you draw a river under a little sheep, it'll just swim.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and if you draw a road over a river, it might make it like a little bit of a ford or a bridge and stuff like that. But
it's so nice.
It's just a chilled.
What if you get it on your iPad?
Maybe.
You will never see me again.
It's great for like designing frost grave boards or silver bayonet boards. You can't do futuristic stuff. It's very much like
medieval
or like Napoleonic era.
Ruined countryside, cottagey sort of.
Cottagecore.
Yeah, Charlie built a couple. He went mad.
Did he love it?
Yeah, he was just like watching. He's been playing Minecraft a lot. But also he's been playing James Bond games a lot as well because he's really liked the set, which was big tick.
Can you explain the James Bond set thing?
Yes, yeah. So he it's really interesting because he's got autism, which was diagnosed quite early.
Mm-hmm. Very early.
Very. Yeah, it was the teacher spotted it quite straight off. But the way I see it is like he's got everyone has like some form of autism, right? Mm-hmm. But his here
we go.
He's really good at focusing on certain things, and like when it comes to maths and English, so he's really intelligent when it comes to like the maths and the learning.
I remember him being quite good at maths.
It's insane. I'm like, I don't know who he gets this from, Liz. I think he's an alien child.
Might just be a bit of a maverick.
I think you might have been inseminated by an alien.
Liz!
I'm really sorry.
Sorry, Liz.
But there's also a few things that make me believe that. Conspiracy theories. I'll come to that in a bit.
Can we not? Can that not be what we come to?
I quite like
child is an alien.
He's definitely an alien.
I quite like in 2025 making Liz like the fourth character, like in our like Captain Mandarin's wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never see her.
Columbo's wife.
Columbo's wife. Yeah. She's definitely there, always there.
Yeah.
I always think Columbo killed her.
It's
always the thing.
That would be the amazing twist at the end if he killed Columbo.
Was that actually true? Was that?
Do you know what we're talking about, Louise?
What?
So in Columbo,
I know of it. I know the trope that like you never saw her, but she was always
same with Captain Mandarin's wife. You never see her.
I'm sorry. Back in my mind was this one detective where he ends up like killing his wife. It might be Midsummer Murders. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I digress. But
no one's killing each other's wives.
No,
it's not Dr. Quincy, medicine man. Shout out to Dr. Quincy.
So Charlie gets super focused is the point I'm getting at. And he likes a thing intensely for a period of time. So like the Buzz Lightyear movie, he was really into that for a good 6 months. Non-stop watched that video for 6 months. Then he moved on to Harry Potter.
It's called Special Interest.
It's really good. It's really, and it's nice to see him do that. But then once he's done with that, that's it. He's not really interested in it after that. So we've had like the Harry Potter, we've had Lord of the Rings, we've had Star Wars.
I'm trying to think of
he still plays with the stuff. He's still got the figures and stuff, but he's definitely focused on Minecraft and James Bond at the moment. James Bond's his new love. But he won't watch it. We've tried watching some of the other films, but he just keeps going back to The Spy Loved Me.
Oh, that's so cute.
And it's a long film, and lots doesn't happen, but then he gets really excited when he gets to the bit where James Bond goes into the American submarine.
Yeah.
So he now knows it's getting ready for the battle.
Okay.
So I know every time the battle's on, I come through, I'm like, how's the battle going? Did the goodies win this time? He's like, they always win, Dad. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you want me to wind it back?
It's exciting every single time. To be honest, Rob does that at the end of movies. If we watch a movie and there was a good fight scene, he will just instantly rewind back to that fight scene and watch it 3 times.
Yeah. And you love that scene. So that's what I made as that Christmas playset.
So
but I tried to do it because like I'm quite mindful that our living room is now a playroom. So being able to tidy stuff away. So I magnetized everything, magnetized the bottom of the bases.
You're such a good dad.
I don't know about that.
You literally video.
I mean, I've accused my son of being an alien, for God's sake.
You literally did just accuse your son of being an alien. You accused your wife of sleeping with an alien, which I think is worse.
No, I said inseminate. I never said
that. Peachy, I'm trying to make it at least a little.
Sorry, Liz.
She got buzzed away. She got buzzed away by an alien.
Buzzed away. Okay, anyway.
Charlie keeps doing this thing, right? He's stopped doing it now, but like he'd wake up in the middle of the night scared. And he'd be like obsessed about the lights taking him away.
Oh no, you're right. He has inherited memories.
Yeah, he keeps saying he's scared of 2 lights in our house because the lights scare him and he gets carried away by them.
If you were American, you would have written an entire book series about this by now. That would have thousands of people.
Yeah, you could be a TikTok star off just this alone.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
like
an alien.
you should be in like an American style documentary right now and be like, and then my boy said that the lights took him away. And it wasn't the light of Jesus. I tell you that right now for sure.
I tell you for sure.
Because I see the light of Jesus every time I look into my wife's eyes. And it's
I need more Southern Louise, please. In my life.
That's good. And then did you, with your break, were you able to take some time to like plan your year, get all like ready?
Did a little bit of planning. I've got a couple of so one of the things I've been really wanted to do, but also guilty of not doing is more bat reports because I've been painting loads of stuff.
They take a long time.
It's not. Well, they do. And also I want to use my patrons to do voiceovers. So I need to get the things earlier so then they can set. I mean, I've got like a library of voiceovers that they've all sent through already, which is great for like NPC reactions.
I need to do some of those.
You need to do a Southern Cowgirl for my Cowgirl game.
Howdy.
But yeah, like Landon and Nigel.
Yeah.
I want to make sure they get it like a week in advance so they can have time to like do some voices for me.
Yeah.
But I've got the V one I want to do. I've made Rogue Hobbies as a shop. I've done Quick Save as a shop. And I'm going to do some other shops and stuff. Because V, if you've ever seen the TV show.
I haven't, but
it's an old 80s show. Basically, a load of like space Nazis come down.
Yeah.
And they're actually lizard people, which is probably where the...
you mean space misunderstood people? That's what you...
Space misunderstood people who want to wipe out every human on the planet.
Space misunderstood people.
It's really interesting because it kind of mimics like the Holocaust in a way because the persecuted people in this setting are scientists because scientists can prove they're baddies.
Yes.
And then there's a survivor of the Holocaust who's like seen this happen again. And he's like, and all the young lads who want to join this like
and he's
group
like,
of visitors
no.
have got brown clothes on.
Yeah.
So it's very reminiscent of like 1930s and stuff like that.
It's literally a reference to that, right?
Yeah.
That's the point.
But it's in the 80s and like there's a resistance. So what I've done is I've built and painted loads of stuff and I want action heroes from the 80s to help out fight against the aliens. So I've got like Rambo. I've got like, oh my God, I can't remember all the people I painted now.
I'm so bad at names.
I know. Worry. I mean, there's Rambo, there's like the actual cast from V, but then there's Beverly Hills Cop.
You should get the Lassie.
Axl Rose.
You
should get Lassie from Alien. What's her name?
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver. I could get
Sigourney Weaver.
Crooked Dice do all the models anyway, so I'm just literally like, just going, I want that.
Oh, so they do a bunch of like...
for you to do some nipples if you do Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of like 80s action hero sculpts.
They do everything from the 70s, 80s, 60s. They do all Doctor Who range stuff.
Oh, fun.
Fantasy films like Krull, Started
did we
doing
go
crawl.
and see them at ChillCon? Is it those?
They want to. I don't think they're at ChillCon.
Who are the people at ChillCon that had? There was someone.
Oh yes, I know, because he gave you like some
yeah.
like.
I wish I could remember. I'm so bad.
But no, that wasn't Crooked Dice. No.
That is actually one of my goals for 2025. What? If you are someone who wants to give Louise a box of minis, please don't.
Please give me that. Thank you.
That's my goal for 2025.
I need to cut down on that.
I want to slap their hands away. I'm like, no.
But I love them so much.
Where am I going to put them?
You got more space than me. I'm tripping over boxes now.
Yeah, no,
I need to.
She's right. There's room.
The amount of stuff that Rob has compared to me as well. Rob, you have an entire office.
Yeah, but I paid for it. That's my point. Yours is just stuff you get given in droves. Yeah, 2025, I'm going to have to buy you a bunker.
Nice.
Put it all in.
I wouldn't mind a bunker. I have a bunker.
I've actually been looking to go to the MOD website. If anyone is working for the MOD and there's bunkers for sale around the Derbyshire area, let me know.
Do you want to buy a bunker?
I want to buy a bunker and turn it into a gaming area.
Gears a bunker.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, gaming area,
stroke,
seminar zone, get it all,
away from what he's trying to escape his alien son.
His alien. No. My alien son, I'm going to protect and keep away from the aliens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your wife.
Yeah. No, Liz is not an alien. She's got inseminated by aliens.
Stop saying inseminated! Stop it!
She's going to be watching this going, why did you say this?
And then why did your brain run with it?
Because my brain runs. I mean, there's the whole 1988 anomaly. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It's all aliens and lizards. That's what it is.
So you got loads more stuff you're going to be doing.
Battle reports is called Liz.
I know. I literally was like, Lizard.
Lizard.
Oh my God, you married a lizard woman. Kind of cool. Kind of hot.
I mean, I always fancied Diane from V, and she was a lizard. So.
Oh, was she a lizard?
And Liz looks like Diane from V.
What about the lusty Argonian maid?
Lusty Argonian maid?
Yeah, from Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah.
Volumes 1 through 4.
Which is a good thing to say. Louise, what have you done over Christmas?
I played Skyrim and I've now collected the lusty Argonian maid.
I hope one day Modiphius make a model of the lusty Argonian maid.
Have you ever seen the video of the guy that read every single book in Skyrim and he reviews them?
They're good books.
He was miserable.
Oh, really?
He was miserable.
Oh, really?
He was like, they suck.
I thought they were
But Lusty Argonian Maid came quite high, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, over Christmas I had a whole week off.
Nice.
Perfect.
Good, you deserved it.
I was
both did.
anxious and paranoid the whole time that I wasn't working, but
Same.
I played a lot of Skyrim.
Well done.
I
love Skyrim.
Love Skyrim.
How old is it now? 15, 12 years old?
Fun fact about Skyrim. So, you know how Skyrim came out and then at E3 2018, they released the Elder Scrolls 5 trailer? Do you remember this?
Yes, yeah.
It's now been as long from that trailer releasing to now as it was from Skyrim
was this meant
releasing.
To be the Hammerfall one?
They just said it was the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
It's now been as long as from the trailer being released to now as from Skyrim being released to that trailer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And they've done nothing.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually thinking about never mind. That's
Think
too
about
bad.
what? Think about what?
I was just thinking
lusty
about
lizards. Busty lizard
Busty
women?
lizard, mate.
Busty
That's what I was thinking about. Correct.
Busty lizard babies?
Yeah.
Satan.
Yeah. So you played some Skyrim?
What were you going to say?
I
Nothing.
I want to know.
Oh my God, such a boring thought. So please continue. So less Rob. Turn it with me, chat. Less Rob.
No one's going to agree with you. For less Rob, we want more Rob.
No. Okay, so you...
I'll never know.
Come on, tell me. What you played some Skyrim?
Yes, I played Skyrim. And also, I got a fancy new iPad.
Perfect.
For Quimus.
Yeah.
For Quimus.
Quimus.
For Quimus.
For Quimus.
Oh,
and I've been sculpting. I have. It's been really good fun. I've not had much time to do it because by the time I decided to start sculpting, I was back at work and I don't know. Because I was scared. That was it. I was scared of my iPad.
Was it because new tech?
Yes.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to
that.
touch it and break it. And I didn't get a case for it for a week.
She wouldn't touch it until she had a case for it to make it safe.
Until I had a case because they're very expensive.
Okay.
And I've never had something so fancy in my whole life. So it's true. Apart from that camera we bought, which then turned out to be the wrong camera. We need to do something about that.
And your PC.
Oh yeah. But
no.
I got that as a gift, so I never bought it.
No, not your laptop. The PC you record on.
Oh yeah, I did buy that.
Anyway,
I've never had something so nice and fancy in my life. So and then I decided to download. It's Nomad Sculpt, if anyone is wondering, and it's super easy. It seems easy.
Cool.
It
Wrong.
seems.
Well,
what do you mean
wrong?
wrong?
You for you maybe.
Yeah, thank you.
I think for me.
No, because I
I think you can do it, Peach, because you're also good at drawing.
I was talking to Tina
I like
about
sticking
it.
bits together.
I think you'll be great at it then.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you would be, because Tina got it and I was asking her about it. She's like, oh, it's like sketching.
Ooh.
And I think you'll really like it, because what you're really good at is putting shapes together to make things.
That's true.
And it's literally basically mostly that. Like you'd be like, okay, so a horse is a tube, a cone, which has been funneled a little bit to make the snout, and then some like sticky legs, and then you kind of blend it, smooth it all together and add bits to it.
Yeah.
So I think you'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
I think you should give it a go.
I've always looked at like sculpting with like such an awe, because it's like how people can just like visual, because drawing is 2D, right? And you can like do on paper.
I can't even really draw, so
well,
yeah.
I mean,
Honestly.
I guess it's like someone that can't draw, it's like drawing is wild. But for me, I can draw, but then I see sculpting, I'm like, but that's like, especially the old sculptors, I have like a block of marble and then carve into that.
So Peachy, this is the thing, because I thought exactly the same, because I'm like, I can't like paint non-metallics. I don't understand how 3D works. I'm honestly finding it easier to sketch out what's in my head in 3D than I do in 2D.
Interesting.
Like literally, I think this could be my preferred medium if I get better at it, which I'd like to.
And you'll be doing that like a little bit every evening,
Yeah,
right?
so we have this new routine where at like 11 o'clock, Rob's like, it's time to turn our brains off, because we're trying to reorganize, getting your sleeping habits back after a big holiday is tricky. So at 11 o'clock, Rob like reads, because Rob got a new Kindle for Christmas.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So Rob reads, and I do like an hour of sculpting practice.
Oh, that's nice.
And I've just been doing like really basic stuff. I've been giving myself art tests where I'm like, okay, on the first night, I'm just going to try and get shapes. Second night, I'm going to try and do like texturing. On the third night, I'm going to try doing coloring. And then I've just been going from there, and it's been really good fun. I really want to make a miniature.
Yeah,
that's
the ones you've showed me look mega. So
they're pretty basic, but
well, you say basic. They look pretty good.
I did a doggy last night.
Yeah, it looked good.
I woke Rob up to show him the doggy, and he was like, "Oh my god, it's such a nice doggy." Anyway,
Fell back to sleep.
As fast as I could.
As fast as he physically
Before
could.
someone tried to tell me about their dreams.
Rob hates it when I tell him about my
your
dreams. Thank you.
You tell me.
Thank you.
You should bring Peach.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, next time she tells me, I'm like, let me just call Peach.
And then there was a lizard in the lab.
Oh yeah, I had a dream once where I rolled down a hill and I turned from a human to a frog.
Oh my fucking god!
And Gandalf was in the river.
You're one of the lizard people.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he is my son.
Yeah, he is your son. He's your amphibian.
Amphibian?
Jesus.
No, amphibian.
So
very different.
So now you've been doing some sculpting, and then you're back on the train with making videos.
Yeah, I've decided like over the week that I was off, I essentially just had like, I was really eager to get back to work, as tends to be the way when I have any time off, because I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like I'm like
lazy.
I feel like I've been lazy,
Yeah.
and everyone on the patrons like they're going, "Where's my fucking video?"
And it's because
they're not like
someone
that at
else
all.
told us when to come back to work before, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, now I can decide. So I've obviously decided to give myself more time off because I'm lazy.
How do I describe it? It almost feels like that there's that fear of people leaving because it's like, oh, he's just skiving.
Yeah, literally.
It's weird.
Even
It's a
though
weird
I'd have
notion.
like, I said to Rob, because I told Rob about this, and he's like, okay, when would you usually go back to work after your holidays? I'm like, okay, the 2nd of January. And he's like, cool, just go back then. I was like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, because you were having panics at that point.
Yeah.
Because you were like, I don't know
I've
when
had too much time off. I don't know if I should be working yet. I've never had this much time off in my life, like whilst I was working for myself, and I needed it so bad.
I
was so stressed before Christmas.
I think taking some ownership of that in the future, being like, I've done a video, so now I get 2 days off or something, and then
I need to get better at that.
Yeah, like that's the thing that
never feels like there's time.
Exactly. I think that's a goal that you should maybe try to aim towards.
Oh, I'll think
this
about
year.
it.
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
Yeah, other than
idea.
answering comments, I tend to like keep the weekends for myself as much as I can.
That's nice. And at the weekends, I tend to do something. Oh, I don't. I work. Yeah.
Or you feel guilty that you haven't.
Or I feel guilty that I haven't. I tried to do something fun though, like build a Gundam or start a painting project or.
Could we talk about actually, because like now looking at it, like a couple of the videos you made, like, so you like crushed December. They were all like in the hundreds of thousands, right? How you feeling about that?
Lots of onesies, wasn't he?
It was like the best like I released 2 of my highest videos like for views within a month, and now I'm scared. It's obviously gonna go down as I re-enter normality, and that's okay. But yeah, December was very good for me, which is really nice. I'm on the road up to 200,000 subscribers now.
When do you get the next button?
Oh, not till like
a milli.
Like
really?
Either 5.
It's like
I don't even think it's 500.
Yeah.
I don't even think you get one at like 500,000.
No, you got to get a milli.
Yeah.
So everyone who's watching this, make sure you subscribe.
Make sure
and
you
get your family to subscribe.
Look, I'm at 62.
You're getting there, yeah.
So that'll be fun. But so my next video that I'm doing, because I decided to like reintroduce myself back into normality. I do some like kind of chiller videos. So I'm doing one now, which I'm going to finish editing today, which is very fun, which is like kind of the history of Golden Demon, but more looking at all of the trends and how painting has changed over the course of 40 years. Like what things went in and out of fashion, why people changed the way they paint, how they changed the way they paint, and just using Golden Demon as kind of like the baseline for registering all that. So I don't really know what to call it, but that's been really good fun. Hello?
I've got a weird question to ask.
Go on.
Is any of it drug related? Like, no, I'm being really serious, because like in the nightclub scene, like when it was like drum and bass and dance music, it was because everyone was taking ecstasy. Then as it got into like minimal techno and like kind of slower paced, like less big music, it was because everyone was taking ketamine, right? And now I don't know what kids are taking. I don't know, fucking vaping or whatever. So like
YouTube's gonna hate all those words you just said.
That's fine. We're late enough into the video. They can scan a little bit. So my question is like
I think yes and no. I mean, a lot of drug use with creatives is a thing.
It is a thing.
I think especially in the 80s, that was more of a thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think that a lot of like the 80s fantasy stuff that you see is not because of drugs, but you know, people, they were just a bit more free and loose with that in the 70s. And then as they got older, they were like, hell yeah, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, I wonder, the 70s informed the 80s. Quite interesting. I wonder what, like, modern, did it become just more professional?
So it's really interesting to track it, because there seems to be a year, and that year is 1994, where there is just such a sudden shift.
Really?
Like, so sudden, because like, if you think about 80s Warhammer, it's very like brown and green. And it's not just because of the image.
Blanchy as well,
blanchy is a good way to put it. It's very like almost watercolory, with all these sepia tones and the banners, and everything was very like organic, and everything basically looked a little Nurgle-y or Nurgle adjacent. And then suddenly in 1994, it does just shift to that like primary colors, highly saturated style. And then that develops. And then again, really suddenly, maybe not as suddenly as in the 90s, but over the course of like the 90s into the 2000s, things just like almost overnight just go grimdark.
You know, I think that is a studio. Really, I think that's informed by the studio.
It is 100%, I think, informed by the studio.
If I look back, it's like the Mike McVeigh era. He obviously brings in a lot of those primary colors. But like, the two what's the open category? The two open categories that I always remember are done by Dave Andrews, which is the Joust and like the Thunderhawk jet fighter that's been repaired. And he won those, but they're again, they're the primary colours. They're very reminiscent of like the early, for me, when I was a kid, the White Dwarf magazines then with the red guns and like the
red casing, the red casing era,
green base and stuff. But yeah, then it kind of gets into like the 90s, and then the heavy metal team changed the direction a bit and go more.
I said I could have talked, and I feel I want to do a video which is an overall look at the eras of Games Workshop and not just following Golden Demon. And I think I'll talk more about that then. But I did say like people, it got, and the big question is in the video that I want to answer is just like, how did miniature painters get so good? Like, because the funny thing is to compare the winning entries from the 80s or 90s and compare it to a winning entry now and be like, what the fuck has happened? How did they get this good? And I think the answer is just like practice and the spirit of competition.
Okay.
And equipment as well.
And equipment. I said that like in the 90s, like they do suddenly, like within the span of 10 years, the quality of entry just skyrockets. And by the 90s, Games Workshop had released at least one painting tutorial. So that makes a big difference.
I think, sorry, Rob.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think as well, like Workshop brought out and other companies did the acrylic paints that were for models, whereas prior to that, which is probably like the dirty Blanchitsu era,
people were using coffee. Yeah.
And I remember having a chat with Dave Andrews, said what would be really interesting video, something I've got at the back of my mind that I would like to try is using enamels on new models and then the range of new paints available now on older models. And
that's kind of one of the things Louise does, basically.
Paints on old miniatures, they look great.
Yeah. But like, using, I guess Blanchitsu kind of, that style does that with the newer range figures anyway, where they use oils and humbrol and stuff like that.
You get John Blanche's.
I do. I already have that. I was meant to shout that out.
You already have it.
I already have it. I had to keep pretty quiet.
Do you know this?
John Blanche is doing a range of paints, right?
With Army Painter.
With Army Painter.
Very nice.
Oh my God.
So nice.
So jelly. Army Painter's
Army Painter doing some wild stuff this year, so I'm really excited to see what they do. But,
that's particularly cool. That one. Oh, are you going to do a video with them?
What with the actual paints?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
You should do what I would do if I had those paints.
I could lend.
I would no. I would do Trench Crusade.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
really makes sense.
Because I want to do. Because my opposite painting style is grimdark. I've never tried it. I think I'd be shit at it.
Your Rainbow Warriors, they feel pretty grimdark.
I just got to try it. I really want to try it. And I think that's a good paint range to kind of limit myself to.
Yeah.
To be like, no, you're not allowed to use those colors.
So you're going to choose just that set to paint with?
Maybe, or something like, or limit my paint range. And I think that's a great opportunity to be like, these paints were designed for that style.
I meant to bring them with me so you can look at them.
I just want to go back a little moment because one of my favorite ever videos, and I know I always try and talk about it, Louise, and make you watch it. But there's a really good video called by a group called Some More News, right? Peachy, you'd especially love it. I should send it to you.
Yeah,
because basically it's like every bad guy in the 80s movies is Donald Trump, right? Yeah, and what's really fun is it's a movie. It's called Some More News, the movie. It's like a YouTube video. It's like 2.5 hours long.
It's a video essay.
Yeah, it's a video essay, really, where the main guy is pretending to go back in time, and then he watches chronologically, like most of like it's like RoboCop and dinosaurs, and he keeps going through all of the different movies. And what's interesting, Louise, actually for you to watch it, this is not like just a really esoteric way of trying to make you watch it, but like one of the things he talks about is like at some point in history, like the sci-fi movies are like, this is what the future could be like, and then it's like, well, we need to stop this, otherwise there'll be a disaster. Then the movies enter an era where they're disasters, and then all the movies after that enter like become post-disaster movies.
It's because essentially after 9/11 there was no more kind of like, I wonder what this looks like because it happened. At least
definitely in Western media, for sure.
In Western media.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, exactly. So there's this kind of like post-pre, and I do wonder how, like, if you were to like take a step back from the painting and also the eras, if you might be able to draw some sort of like, because I'm sure there's someone who's
probably
maybe
it is interesting, and Peachy's absolutely right. Where I think if you lined up the heavy metal style at the time, they would just be following that trend. But I think it's no longer like that. I think because I go up into like the 2010s and the 2000s, and now they've almost gone beyond what the heavy metal painters are doing, and it's just become like an insane competition.
Yeah.
Last question about that, if I could. Because you both, Peach, you worked at a company longer, but like that direction in like at least aesthetic style, would that have like would that have been like a single leader? Like there would have been someone in the company who's like, right, I want everything to be colourful now.
So yes and no. Sometimes it's driven by someone in the studio just doing something. And everyone's like, that's cool. So like brown rims, for instance.
Okay.
We moved from green to brown, and there was a time probably like there was like dirty
on bases.
Black. Yeah, on bases. Yeah. Okay. So like board games, like later on, I'm probably skipping ahead, you'd start to see more black rims and grey rims appear, but they're more like we keep grey for Age of Sigmar, we keep black for board games, but brown is 40k. But brown was good for most things, and the reason being is once we'd done like the brown rims, Daz had found like
Steel Legion drab.
It was Steel Legion before that was Graveyard Earth.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
Graveyard Earth was the colour. Then that obviously range died, so then Steel Legion drab became the colour we used. But it was really good from a graphic design editing point of view. Whereas if like you've got, because I've always thought it's a nice subtle jump between whatever's on top of the base to whatever board you're playing on.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not too jarring, whereas black and grey can still be quite jarring. But the photographers and the graphic designers can change brown to any colour.
Mm-hmm. So it's a more malleable colour.
Yeah, so with black, it's always going to be very dark. But if it's like a kind of medium tone, it's why I liked spraying a lot of my miniatures in like greys and Mournfang browns.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to kind of go up and down from it. It's a medium tone.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so would you always suggest undercoating your minis in a brown? Or?
I use black, but that's because I like a lot of like contrast in my miniatures, and I paint a lot of old miniatures, which I want to hide a lot of things on.
Yeah, so I tend to spray whatever colour's relevant to the majority of the model.
Oh, okay.
That's the smartest idea.
Yeah, so like my Rohan video, I've got 2 guys that are mostly in green cloth, so I spray them green. And one guy's mostly in chainmail, so I spray him silver.
I do want to do a video on spraying minis at some point.
Yeah. Okay, I think that'd be really interesting, especially after watching you spray those Space Marines all the different colours.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was really interesting.
I should still post about that, maybe.
Yeah, you should.
I do think it's opinionated, though, that the styles in the studio, there'll be like someone with an opinion or like... I'd say Daz drove a lot of style. Mike McVeigh drove a lot of style, and then whoever's in
Mike McVeigh liked one of my pictures the other day. He did. Oh he did, and I was so shy about it.
I mean, I even whether people will hate me for admitting this, I probably drove because there was that rule, the Horde rule. For was it 8th edition, where they had the Horde rule. I kind of didn't help that because I kept painting units of 40.
How
and then that became like more of a thing, like we need more units of 40, keep doing more units of 40 because we need to push people buying units of 40. So I was kind of responsible for units of 40.
That was me.
That's an incredible thing, which I'm about to do a 2-hour deep dive on. I need you to know. Yeah, that was a terrible rule.
You're not leaving here now.
It's because I used to paint vast collections, and then it was like, you're rewarded for when you paint lots of stuff. As I've got older, I've found I've got less time, so I paint less stuff. Yeah. But I get more fun out of my games. But during that time I was younger. I had like so many years ahead of me before I die. And I used to like painting large quantities of troops.
Yeah.
And I want to be rewarded for that. So that's when the Horde rule became a thing, like 10 wide, 4 deep kind of thing.
If I have a video with a picture of you on with an X through your head,
by all means,
just ignore it. Ignore it.
Rob, I was young. We all make mistakes when we're young. We make mistakes.
I don't think I've ever influenced anything, but yeah, I think it's
not true. Literally, hundreds.
What a dumb thing to say.
Thousands of people. You're so wrong.
And Gundam.
Oh yeah, we yeah.
Your paint range, the minis, who you are.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's fire inks.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then everything from that. How many people have mimicked that?
So many people were like, I just thought it came with wings.
Well, I mean, and it should have done after seeing that.
It should have, yeah. They should have
I love the
repackaged
spy ranks.
it.
I think it was a very pretty miniature. But what were we talking about? So I want to give a shout out to, at this point, to Golden Demon Compendium, which is, they've been helping me out loads. Yeah, GDC,
Golden Demon Compendium.
Didn't they have to like close down their account for a time?
I don't know, something like that. But they're back now, and they've got a great website.
Yeah.
Like the website is all I've been using for my research, and like they've got every single year documented. They do like a breakdown of all the nations in a little graph every single year. You can like follow your favorite artist, and it's just such a good website, and they've been so helpful. And I told them they spelt golden wrong on every single page of their
oh no,
they spelt it Golden Demon.
Oh no.
What did they say?
Lol. Lamau even.
Did they spell lol right?
They might still have it because he's updated the website, but it said it said Golden Demon on every single I'll find it in a minute. But yeah, so that was funny. But no, their website's been great. They've been so helpful as well. Awesome. But yeah, so that's my next video. And then I want to do a video on how to paint the crayon eaters from Space Marine 2.
Do you know about these?
Oh my God.
Yeah, explain it.
You know how in Space Marine 2 you can customize your Space Marine, so like with any color, they invented I think it was one guy who originally made the meme, but then it just like got traction and people fucking loved it. Where basically you just make the most god-awful, ugly-ass Space Marine in the world by having every single thing you can customize be a different color. And then they started calling them the Crayon Eaters.
I like it.
And from there, they've kind of become their own little like fan legion. So I thought what a really fun way for me to like dust off some cobwebs and get back into it is to paint a Crayon Eater.
Kind of definitely your vibe.
Exactly. Yes. So I thought thought I'd get Titus, the actual miniature, and do him as a crayon eater. And I can use like my little paint range for it and stuff like that. And that'll be really
Didn't you
good.
say that Titus mini was awful to put together?
Oh, it was really bad, Rob.
I know you don't like being negative, so I'm sorry. We can move on.
No, I can talk about it because it's important to talk about it. But no, I don't want to. So as a girl who's now been building Gundam for like half a year now, I think it started in like July or something. And I want to talk about that in a bit once we get around to you. I know we have no time, but
Sure.
but yeah, so I haven't built miniatures in ages because I paint a lot of old miniatures and stuff like that. So first of all, I get Titus in front of me. I forget I need glue.
Oh god, yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, but he's a push fit miniature, so I shouldn't need glue. It went together worse than a regular miniature.
Oh really?
It was so bad. Like I was like,
especially as like that will be like tons of people. Like they play Space Marine 2, they're like, I'm gonna buy the Titus.
That's their first miniature. So like I was like doing what you usually do, even before like I even tried. I was like filing down the little like pieces so that go in together better. I snipped them off and it still wouldn't squeeze together. Like I was using like plastic glue as well, so it should have like melted it together. I was like squeezing it like that for half an hour. And even when you released it, it was just like separating. And I'm good at building miniatures. Like I've definitely, I used to do like assembly guides. I would say a professional miniature builder at this point. And it just went together like crap. And it's a push fit miniature. And I think having built like basically exclusively Gundam for half a year, it was fucking not fun. It was,
and there's probably less pieces as well.
Yeah, and which is good. It's good that there's less pieces because that means it's easier for kids or people who are new to put it together. But if I was trying to push fit that miniature, it would essentially look like, you know how you get those separated renders where everything's kind of floating away from each other? It would have looked like that. Yeah. And that makes me really sad because like that was, I think like £26, and not to bring the Gundam thing back into it, for £26, that's like a higher end Gundam miniature. That's like not a real grade. You can get real grades for that price, but that's like a good high grade Gundam, which is like wild. 6 sprues, all perfectly go together, all color separated, all movable. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I think more than anything, it's, you know, as their flagship product, you know, like, if nothing is...
Give me one good Space Marine and make it that one.
Yeah. You can make the rest kind of be whatever, but like do that one.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because they do intentionally try and make it push fit to be like... And I appreciate that innovation of them being like, no, we're going to make this one easy so that people don't need to use
That's
glue.
okay. Make it push fit, but it should work.
Yeah, it needs to work.
I mean, I had issues with push fit when I was doing videos for my TV, and I'd have like not the sculptors, but the managers come up and try and show me that I'm an idiot, and then they try and show me how to do it on camera,
and they try and make it. They're like, you can tell them like they're struggling to push it together.
There was one. It was the Night of Shrouds, and the instructions tell you to put it in a certain way, and I started doing it, and you can't fit the head on after that point, especially when you're trying to do a video. And I'm like, the video,
you don't want to look like you're struggling on camera.
I sent a message saying like, I've got to do it the opposite way round. I've got to do 5 before 4.
Or else it will not
work.
Or
otherwise it won't work. And they're like, no, that's not how it goes together. I'll show you how it's done. And then they kind of did it, and then they made a proud of themselves. And then I was like, can I do 5 before 4 now, please? And mention it in the video. Is that okay?
I feel like even before anyone told me I couldn't, I was saying dumb. Now if you get a push fit miniature and you do struggle, one thing to do is file down the sides. Like we all said that. Yeah. But that should never have even been in our vocabulary.
It also shouldn't be a problem.
If you struggle to put together push fit miniatures, like
it should push.
Well, that reaction is like exactly the problem, right? So you should be like, "There's a problem with this product," and they should be like, "Thanks for highlighting that. We're going to go away." But to be like, "No, you're wrong." Yeah, that's just a terrible structure. Like,
there's no way we could possibly be wrong.
I remember like Duncan was like, "Well, this is going to be fun to watch, then, isn't it?" I was like, I can't wait for them to come and show me how wrong I am, Duncan. I can't wait.
If that was a miniature I was painting on Warhammer TV, which I think it would have been if I was there at the time, and I'd be like, obviously we're doing a Space Marine 2 video and we're using Titus. I would have had to I don't know, like spent half a day fixing the
what
miniature
you'd have to do,
or something.
and unfortunately we were made to do that, is we'd have to make it look like it went together perfectly.
Yeah,
we'd have to lie,
yeah.
which is something I'd never want to do, but then it'd be like,
it's your job.
Well, you have to do it.
It's your job.
You gotta make it happen.
I've tried to make it as good looking as I can, but I've had to essentially like re-sculpt areas with plastic glue.
Yeah. Are you going to mention it in your video? Because I think it's worth saying. I know you hate that.
I mean, okay, Rohan video, right?
Yeah.
I build some Rohan guys. I've got some Victrix, Saxons, armored and unarmored. I really appreciate the Rohan kit. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Some really nice, but there are some bugbears to it. I highlight them, but I don't come across negative about it. I'm just like, Victrix have more options, sort of like more like head choices, more weapon choices, but they don't have bows. But also they're a slightly bit bigger. And there's one of my biggest bugbears with the Rohan set was like the face plates were separate to the heads.
Okay, Rob would hate that.
Which was annoying.
Yeah, Rob would.
And I was like fuming when I was building some of the figures. But then the Victrix ones did the same, and I was like, okay, so maybe it's just a thing because they want to get that extra detail from the faceplates, but there's a bunch of heads
like
at least.
Like a tooling thing.
Maybe a tooling thing, but at least on the Victrix set, they have like some heads that are just solid. There's no bits you stick on them. Whereas the Rohan ones do. But again, my big bugbear with the Rohan ones is I'm just building static miniatures. I can't get weapon options because it's either the spear guy, when you build him, he only has the spear. The sword guy only has the sword. The axe guy only has the axe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could you not have stuck a different weapon option here and there? But I mean, I'll kitbash, I'll swap hands. I can do that. But I was a bit sort of like,
come on,
you're allowed to bring that up.
Who was it? Was it someone messaged me the other day and they were talking about that? Like they think it's a bit cheeky that Games Workshop doesn't do more like swappable weapon options.
Well, they do. Well, they did do it with Warcry. Yeah, you had so many choices with Warcry. Where you could like, do you want a spear? Do you want an axe? Do you want a sword?
Or the Zangor kit where you can make 40k or Age of Sigmar. That's a cool kit. That's a great kit.
I didn't come across negative, and I was just like going, these are the pros, these are the cons.
I'm just scared.
Between the two kits.
Don't just be like, I put this together. It was difficult to put together. You could just say that.
I'm scared because people have been a bit about me even like talking about Gundam recently because Gundam just revealed. That they are making a tabletop miniature game.
Yeah, they are.
I like the Zaku. I saw the Zaku.
Oh my God, there's so many. There's this little one that I didn't know what it was, but he's running and he's got like a little Naruto running in. He's cute. I can't remember his name. Someone told me his name, but he's my favorite. Anyway, it looks really cool. I had no idea that was happening. I'm not a sleeper agent.
No. I mean, I'm the same as someone in my Discord was just like, oh, I see what you guys have been doing. I was like, no.
So can I stop you both for a second?
Yes.
If I was working at Bandai and they were like, hey Rob, we're gonna do a miniatures game soon, be like, cool. It's like I'm gonna obviously in my job role, I'm gonna reach out loads to miniature creators and like talk to them and like introduce them to Bandai, like into Gundam, and then they would say that is a good idea. Yeah. And then
but we weren't paid.
No one's saying you were paid.
No. Oh, loads of people are. So I saw this one really shitty comment that made me really sad, which was like, because there were loads that were like, oh, so this is why they're all making videos about Gundam. And I'm like, no, I just thought it was cool.
Coincidence.
But then there was one that was like, no one's just getting into Gundam. They're obviously being paid to make these videos. Like no one just likes it. I mean, if we were getting
paid by Bandai, I'd have premises by now.
Literally. So the way it worked is that, and I've been really open and honest about this, is that Bandai reached out to me. It was reached out to you and then me, but I missed the email.
Because they asked if I want to come to Comic-Con, and they're like, can you contact Louise? I was like, yeah sure. And then we went down and got into Bandai.
And then they sent us away with a little gift bag. Mostly
Tamagotchis, so no Gundam at all.
This is the thing that I want to make very clear, which I don't think I've said ever, is that everything I have used in my video has been 100% things I have bought myself.
Yeah.
In fact, to the extent that, and I haven't said this yet because I'm embarrassed, one of the new Gundams that I bought was actually one that they put in the gift bag, and I was so much like, I'm not touching this because I don't want this to affect my videos at all. I ended up buying the same one twice. But so that's annoying. But yeah, I wanted it to be very clear that like they introduced me to Gundam and said, hey, you might think this is cool. And then I instantly went, yes, it is very cool. Thank you very much. I will now take this on myself as my own hobby without them doing anything. They invited me to do the Gundam Builder World Cup, and that was like extremely cool.
I feel sad that you have to feel that you have to defend yourself in this situation.
And I think I've had a few people being like, okay, it's fair that people are skeptical because literally everyone's out to like get you with marketing these days. But I'm like, I promise that if anything's a paid sponsorship, I will let people know.
Trench Crusade? I wasn't. But we talked about Trench Crusade.
Because that's the follow up, isn't it? Like I just today did a stream about like the 3D prints that released this month on Patreon, which is one I do every month.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, and one of them, Best Area Miniatures, their thing. I was like, I think this is Trench Crusade stuff because it was like the kind of Arabian kind of.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing some.
Yeah, but the reason is like because the chat, because I was streaming obviously while I was doing it, the chat were like, oh, it must be so refreshing for these guys to just be like, fuck yeah, I'll do another thing. Like cool, I'm going to do my take on whatever faction it is from Trench Crusade. Exactly. And so like you could definitely see that being a fun thing that each one of those, and it's one of the things, you're all creatives when you get given a new thing or shown a new thing, you must be like, this is cool.
I feel really proud that Bandai themselves were like, we want you to try Gundam. Like I think that's really cool because they're like the biggest toy company in the world, and I love toys and I love Tamagotchis. I have one here.
Something I want to point out about that as well is because I know you and we would travel in the car and go to these events.
Yes.
You didn't really know much about Gundam.
I knew fuck all about Gundam. I wasn't even, guess what? I wasn't even particularly interested in it.
No.
I was like, that could be fun. They do Tamagotchis.
I mean, I like the model. I mean, I'll come to what I'd like from Gundam a bit more in a minute or two, but like it's been really interesting seeing your journey of like you discovering something and these are quite cool, getting a kit, building the kit, then doing a million bits of research on all the, because I've been doing some research on YouTube now of like, because it was Dave, I think it was Dave, did his video, and straight after there was another video where a guy just basically talks about, if you're new to Gundam, here's a list of TV shows and stuff you need to watch.
I watched that too.
Yeah, and it was just like, this is really cool.
All the other mecha shows that there are.
So that was really interesting seeing like this journey of, and he basically gives like a brief description of what's going off. And he's like, if you know Gundam, don't watch this. This is not for you.
I think I've watched the exact same video as you.
I can't remember who it was now, but what I want from Gundam is, because I like big robots and I want to use them in Stargrave and like 5 parsecs from home and stuff. But I want the Zion Troopers and is it Alliance? What's the goodies called? Well, no one's good.
I need you to know I don't know anything about it.
It's I can't remember what they're called because I'm also quite new to the lore. So it's a Xeon and the
I want to say Alliance, but I don't think
it's like the Universal World Alliance, something like that. Yeah, them.
But I want
in the chat.
I want a range of models of them because watching that.
Oh, just the people.
Yeah, because after watching the Netflix 6-part, I really like that, having like the odd Zaku and the odd Gundam, but like loads of soldiers having a battle. I was like, that's cool.
But that's not what the miniature game is.
So there's a miniature game coming out which is some sort of like, it looks like a board game really.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool.
That's my wish list eventually that will come into
and I'm assuming it's going to be like, I know Louise, you're probably going to want to paint it, but I'm assuming it's going to be a non-painting, kind of like
okay, so this is one thing that I would have liked. I would have liked for the plastic miniatures in the board game to flex a little bit more and to be, because I think they're just going to be like very normal. I'm going to be really honest here. I don't think they're going to be like...
We're going to find them to be fully articulated, aren't we?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get these plastic miniatures on the sprue and they're going to be 2 billion times better than Games Workshop in the way that their bigger kits are.
They look like Underworld sprues, don't they?
Yeah. I think there's going to be a couple of mold lines. There's going to be, because I don't know who's manufacturing them. So I expect them to be like very good, but I do wish they'd flexed a little bit. Like obviously I've not seen anything yet, but I wish they did do like maybe an exclusive box out, which does have like more sprues and color separation on the thing, because I've seen a lot of Gundam people being like, I don't want to build this. You got to paint them.
I think
I don't like painting miniatures.
I think what's interesting for me is like, because Games Workshop, like, a good example would be you just talked about Titus, which is a miniature they've released to tie in with this absolutely stupidly huge game.
It's gotten thousands of of people into Warhammer.
Yeah, it's stupidly huge game. Crazy. And obviously, like, it's garbage to put together, right? Which is pretty classic Games Workshop in many ways. Like,
so sad.
But then also their rule set is very similarly like pretty we talked about paint today. Yeah. Their paint set is also non-consumer friendly, and their rules are also pretty non-consumer friendly as well.
So wait, hang on.
So but, it will be interesting.
Hang on now.
It will be interesting to see. I definitely think what, like, when a massive toy company goes, right, cool, we're going to make a game. How user-friendly that game experience is, and how much support it has. Like, will it have an app? Will it have video tutorials? Like, you know,
so it already looks like they've put quite a lot of money behind it.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited to see.
They had a display recently, I think at one of their cons, because they've also got a card game coming out right now, which looks really cool. And it looked high budget. Yeah. It looks like
Magic the Gathering style.
Yeah.
TGC.
So, but they had a display for the miniature game, and the whole display looked like they'd put effort into it, which looks really cool. The trailer was really cool. It looks really good, and I'm really excited to play it.
I'm just bummed out for you that people are just reaching out and saying, "Oh."
I can understand why people would think it's sponsored, and it is coincidental.
But welcome to the world. Everyone gets sponsored, and footballers wear all sorts of sponsors on them. Yeah, Formula One drivers wear all sorts of sponsors on them.
I guess it's because it started other people doing it too. Yeah, so some people look at that trends. And some people don't like trends. Some people don't just genuinely think trends are a little bit ooey.
Yeah, people think I'm sponsored by
That's because they're cool and edgy, right?
No one thinks you're sponsored by Slapchop, Rob. Speaking of which, Rob.
Slapchop.
Anyway, I just want to make it very clear that I wasn't paid to make any Gundam content, and everything I used in my videos were because I went out and bought them myself, and I'm fully obsessed with it.
Good.
On my own free will.
I don't know if you have free will in this subject, but yes.
Maybe I was manipulated.
I think that, Louise, I don't think that that's even remotely a true. Like it's so fun. It's like with Lego. Like,
what do you mean?
It's so funny. Like Lego contacted you, were like, we're gonna see some Lego, and then you were like, and me and Louise and Tom, because we often. So this is for everyone at home. We often have conversations with Louise, and we're like, Louise, people obviously want you to make a video or do something about your thing because normally they do really well. That's good advertising. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I understand that. And then I'm like, Lego have loads of money. Yeah. She's like, I understand that. And she's like, oh, they've sent me a box of stuff though. I'm like, I understand that. She's like, I'll make a video anyway. I'm like, they should pay you, Louise. And she's like, but it's cool.
And I made it really clear in the video. I was like, not sponsored, but they did send me it for free, but I didn't have to make this video. Like, there's tons of things that I get sent that I don't make videos about.
But it's so funny. You can literally get Louise, if like you just send...
You cannot force me to make a video.
You can't be forced to make a video. And also, you literally can trick her by just sending her anything. Which is, true. I don't want to say because obviously I don't want more boxes of stuff turning up.
However, if you do have cute little miniatures and you like them, like if you make little, I don't know, like cloth goblins or something.
Cloth goblin Lego.
I mean, the way Rob put it, because I was feeling really bad because I was like, oh, what? Sorry, it's for going on about it.
Okay,
Rob. I need to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
And because I was feeling really bad because obviously like me and you were invited by Bandai and they sent us home with a little gift box, but I posted about that and I posted that we were there the last time. I've tried to be really open and upfront.
And we bought our own stuff as well.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like nothing I used in the videos, not a single thing I've ever, in fact, I went around and counted every single Gundam that I've built that they like gave me. And it was one, and it's the one that we did last time we were there.
Easy grade.
Yeah. And you build them together.
And I posted it on Instagram and said they gave me it. Yeah. So that's the only time I've ever used one that was like in a gift bag from them.
Granted, the only thing I got was the waifu.
Oh my gosh, she's perfect.
Yeah, but she's perfect. And now I want to buy more. And I want to get the
this is it. So we were influenced, but not sponsored.
I don't. That's really important.
I don't. But I just don't want anyone to think like I'm hiding anything or lying. So I feel really good talking about this right now. And I'm sorry I've talked about it for so long, but I just want everyone to know that everything I do on my channel is because like I said, you cannot force me to make a fucking video. Like
I've tried.
You cannot squeeze a video which is ungenuine out of me.
That's true.
Even if you try. Anyway,
I mean, sorry, Rob.
Yeah,
I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Rob.
I haven't done it. What have I done?
No, because we want to get to you. We want to get to you.
We get less Rob. Less Rob.
This is why I feel bad.
One of the things I've found at the moment is I did this little video about, I say little, it was about 40 minutes long, about
it's not a little video.
A bunch of different games I've discovered over the year.
Yeah.
And I've not had a chance to do a video on.
Yeah.
So I did like a 5-minute piece on each of them.
I want to do that too.
And it was I enjoyed doing it. And there's a couple of like special mentions. But what I discovered, and it's great because I did say in the comments, if there's other games that I've not mentioned, let me know in the comments and stuff. But there's some people that have, I don't know if it's like the way that it's written or what, but come across a bit sort of like, can't believe you didn't mention this one.
I have
Can't believe you didn't mention that. I'm like, I'm one guy.
I literally
this is a 40-minute long video. I've covered as many. I mean, I didn't even know that existed. So
when I did these painters will make you a better painter, and I'm like, at the end, I'm like, hey, I bet I missed loads of your favorite artists. I love them all. I didn't have time to mention everyone. Let me know. People like, it's actually really disgusting that you didn't mention this person. And I'm like, okay, I was just trying to be nice.
I did a special mention for Death Wizards, which is by Snarling Badger Studios, which is Vince Ventrilla and Uncle Atom. At the time, I'd forgotten who they were because I was making the video. So I just went Snarling Badger Studios because I was like mid-filming.
Because that's who they are.
I knew who they were because they talked to me and they sent it to me. But at that moment in filming, because there was so much going off, I just like forgot to mention their names.
Fair.
And loads of people are like, you didn't mention the actual specific people that made this game. I'm like, I gave them a shout at the end of the video about the game and talked about it.
Dear.
I mean, what do I have to do? Do I have to mention the names as well as the rules and how the game plays as well as how you paint the models in this?
People are always going to be a little offended.
No matter what you do, there's always something that's not quite right for someone, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that not bothers me, but
I hate it when people are wrong.
Because you also feel like it's unreasonable, right? Like you feel like you're in a conversation with other people, and then someone's like, "I've not listened, fuck you," and you're like,
"No, I just feel like people. I get sad when I think people have the wrong impression of me."
Okay,
well, it's just the way it's come out across in words, and that's why I like emojis when people like say a comment and it can be read 10 different ways.
Yeah, literally.
If there's an emoji, I'm like, "Cool, you're angry," or "Cool, you're happy." Whereas it could be like, are you angry? Are you happy? Are you upset? Are you mildly perturbed? Are you vexed? I don't know.
What's the mildly perturbed emoji?
I reckon that's a really good way of like, like if you were like right now, no cheating, just screen cap your like frequently used emojis. And then you would just go through it. You'd be like, I'm going to block you. That's a lot of angry remotes and whatever.
Mine's a lot of hearts and kisses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
mine is cry face, heart, cry laughing, thumbs up, the little drippy face, the little strong, and then a couple more crying emojis.
That's good.
I do look like an alcoholic when it came to Christmas time and New Year because it did like
the little
clink clinks. It's like Peachy drinks.
Anyway, Robert.
Mine is sad face, house, a book, a fire alarm. Someone doing the gym.
You have like girl emojis,
No, it's because I was using them for an app.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, how are you, Rob?
Good, yeah. So Christmas was super busy for me because between Christmas and New Year, I ran an event every day. So not Boxing Day, but the day after Boxing Day. Yeah, so
it's actually really good fun. It's really
so
nice.
what we do is I do a series of 1 dayers the day after Boxing Day, so 27th until the 31st, and then we run like a 1 dayer every day. And this year I did it over 2 game systems. So normally it's just Age of Sigmar, but this year it was Age of Sigmar and Old World, and that was super fun because then if some people are really lonely over that period of time, and also some people just want to get away, a bunch of different stuff, see friends.
Well, this is it because like it's become an excuse to be like, oh, sorry, I can't stay any longer. Rob's booked in all these events. It's quite nice, actually.
It's also really good.
Actually, quite
not
nice.
Stupid.
Yeah.
So like, it's really nice. It's really nice, and you get to see a lot of people, and it's really tiring because it's like they're basically 12-hour days. It's like 9 till 9.
Yeah, you were shattered by the end of it.
Yeah, it's really long, and then someone drops out.
Too hard, dude.
Well, maybe, but like I was spare playing a couple, and so that was really fun. And you just get to see people over Christmas, and that's nice. Like whatever else, like you get to be involved in because I think like definitely rounding off last year, I'm like events to me are like absolutely it's also the reason I make videos. Like it's because of events, like the experience of playing on the tabletop with some other people, great fun. And Christmas is a nice time for that. So we did that, and then I had Christmas Day off. Just put my feet up. Great time.
Oh, I made a smashing Christmas dinner.
Christmas dinner smashing.
Did you get all the roast potatoes?
Oh my God. I had a lot of roast potatoes.
Tell me about the roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes were 11 out of 10.
Thank you.
I need you to know that they were perfectly crunchy on the outside, but fluffy on the inside.
How do I do it? How do I do it? How am I?
Everyone's banging on about her painting, but they've not eaten a roast potato.
Oh my God.
So
fucking missing out.
Yeah, they're missing out. And then Christmas.
Sponsored by Aunt Bessie's, I bet.
No way.
This can get fucked. Sponsored by geese and their fat.
Yeah, but liposuction.
Liposuction. So because Rob's a vegetarian. So
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we get the geese fat. Apparently, that's what Louise keeps telling me.
Oh,
don't tell him.
It is liposuction.
It is.
Yeah. So
skinny geese.
So Christmas Day, New Year's Day I took off, and then the day after I started working. So what I've been planning, and like if you watch the last couple of Juggz, you hear me talking about goals.
Yeah.
So like I had loads on last year. With all different things. But like we said, a lot of it has been like accidental. I was like, we should do a Juggz, or like we should do whatever this was originally. And we started Playdate. We started doing it, and now people want us to do more. And I would love to do more of this in the future.
You becoming a goblin manufacturer, also accidental.
Me becoming a goblin manufacturer, also accidental. Then I started the Old World show. Which also I was like, this is fun, but like that was huge. And I was like,
obviously.
Yikes. So that's all become like quite a lot of stuff. And then events really kicked off, and lots of people started coming to the venue. So it became more of a thing. So like great. I'm not upset about that. Like, and it was very tiring. But now I was a bit like, okay, cool. Like, what is it I'm like trying to achieve, and what am I trying to get at? So like I spent quite a bit of time on the day after New Year's Day, which had been something I've been kind of mentally prepping myself for. To be like, right, cool. What's my schedule? Like, what am I doing in the week? Like, and then what do I want to add this year? Because I do think like, and I'm sure both of you feel the same. Like, what can you add to what you create?
Yeah.
Or how can what you create be better like next year?
I want to shift up my editing style.
Okay, that's interesting.
At some point, yeah.
Okay, that's super fun. In what way?
I just want to get better at it. I really like the way Tina does our videos. Because like everything I do is at that desk.
Yeah.
Right?
So you want to start including yourself in other places?
Yeah, I want to roam.
Yeah.
I want to roam it.
You want to go rogue?
I mean, I don't know how she does it, but for me, it's like, that seems like a lot of effort and faff as well.
It is, but it looks so good though.
Yeah.
It fucking pays off.
Also, like, there's really good like studies that like you need to be switching up every 3 seconds.
True.
So like if you could film your entire thing there, record, and then record it again somewhere else, you now have got 2 places to cut between with other stuff.
Or I just get another camera on my hands for a painting. Like I was looking at another thing which I could just set my phone up, which just gives me another painting camera on my hands or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Anyway.
Perfect. No, yeah.
More Rob.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Less Rob.
More Rob.
So yeah, I sat down and and also like, I play a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I want to play a lot of games. This is not like, just like you two, there's so many hobbies I really want to do. And Peach, I'm super jealous of how quick and fast you are with stuff. I'm not necessarily that. Because like with painting, I'm like, cool, I'll paint tomorrow. Yeah. But what? And also when I actually wrote my schedule down, I was like, I actually don't have a lot of time for painting. So when I do paint, what am I painting and what's it for, sort of thing. Yeah. And I guess some people are like, just paint what you think's cool. And I'm like, well, what I think, if everything's fucking cool, what am I going to paint?
It makes it harder then.
Yeah, it makes it much harder.
And you actually like play games with things as well. So it doesn't suit you to just paint something cool because you're like, cool, I have one less miniature that I actually want to use next week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then with videos of what I want to make and a bunch of other stuff. So I sat down and I started trying to schedule it out and work out what I wanted to make. And that's actually, I know people are going to see that silly, like, you already make videos. And I'm cool. I already do make videos, but like, why do I make them? What's the plan with the videos? What am I going to do? So I like redid my schedule, which didn't change it. It more like solidified what it's going to be. And then I set myself like some goals. And like one of the big ones was like hobby goals. Kind of like, I haven't yet done, I'm a little bit jealous of you two, but I haven't yet done like numbers goals. So like, I haven't
what
been
do you
like
mean numbers goals.
Also like, so I made a video like
numbers goals. I think are really.
Well, I mean, like you're like, oh, soon I might get 200,000 subscribers.
But that wasn't the goal.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, it is. It's a okay.
It might happen.
It's a benchmark, right?
Yeah, but it might.
Peach, you had that, right? You were like, I want to get 40,000 by Christmas.
Well, initially it was 20k, and I was just like, it'd be nice if I get to 20k, but a part of my mind was like, how can I actually influence that other than just keep making
this is
stuff?
what I mean. Yeah, like,
but yeah, then it got to like, I could probably try and do 40k.
Yeah, but that's a good example. A good example would be like, so like as a hobby goal, I want to paint my Necromantic gang.
Yes.
Cool.
What, your squats?
So, but like, if I hadn't set that as a goal, then I wouldn't have the how do I make that happen step. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like what I tried to do was start to establish some goals for myself. Like I'd like every event to be sold out.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. How do I make that happen? What steps? And then obviously if those steps aren't working, what can I do? Like when I release a video, I'm like, cool, I got loads of views. That's great. But I'm like, if I don't set a goal for what it's going to achieve, how am I going to establish some steps to make it.
How am I going to get better?
I know there's loads of people watching. It's like, obviously that's how it works, dickhead. And you're like, yeah, obviously.
But you got to do it for your own mind as well, haven't you? You got to understand where you want to go. I mean, like for me, like what's my 5-year plan for Peachy Tips?
Perfect.
So, you know, like where do I see myself in like 5 years? Do I have an editor that's editing? Do I have someone that's designing the thumbnails?
So that's something that we'd all, I think, love.
Yeah,
as an editor.
Also like I like editing, but I'm not good at it, but I like doing it. No, I'm not good at it.
I feel you. I'm okay. I can stitch a video together quite quickly, but I like I said, I want my videos to be like, nice, high quality.
The Tina analogy, where like adding those interesting shots, because like you look at like,
and she's so
Eric's
natural as well.
Yes, yeah,
she's very good.
Yeah, she's very, very good.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if there's any like really well edited videos that you like.
MS Paints. Some of my favorite edited videos ever.
There you go, good example.
I think that's his one of his
professions.
He's very smart.
He's very good at it.
Yeah.
So I set myself a bunch of goals. Ran a bunch of events, set myself a bunch of goals. Then that meant that I hadn't been making any videos, so that panic set in, and I was like I've been working, but it feels like a time off. But then I got back to making videos this week, which has been cool. Started out with like an I'm back video, which felt a bit cringe, if I'm 100% honest.
Oh no, it was sweet.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
It was sweet. It was sweet.
It was cringy, but it was also like saying to the people who watch what I'm gonna do, I was like, cringy. I've got some goals, and I'm going to try and do these things, and this is what it is. And then I like restructured my stream schedule, so it's the same time, but it was just like, we're going to be doing this on these days.
It's a bit more structured.
Yeah, which meant I was like, cool, now I know what that is. I'm going to just update my Twitch schedule. I was like, I haven't updated this for 4 years.
Oh wow,
perfect. Yeah. Like even though like my schedule has been set in stone for 4 years, I hadn't updated it, and I was like, okay. So then, like, it's just nice to kind of like, you know, blow the cobwebs off and revisit everything from the ground up, which is nice. And then I added in a new stream, which is cool. So like on Monday nights, I'm now playing Total War, which is kind of like
from home.
Yeah, so I got home set up.
Yeah.
So
I want to freaked out.
Yeah, it was uncomfy. Like I want to play computer games. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I work a lot and I don't necessarily make a lot of money as a creator. That's just a true thing that happens for creators a lot of the time.
It's normal.
It's normal.
As
super
well.
normal.
Since the beginning of the times, like artists don't make a lot of money.
Exactly. And also I'm not trying to like, you know, do the bajillion video. I'm like, do you know what? Why don't we talk about...
You're not trying to do the bajillion video because you already got one.
Yeah, not yet. We'll talk about it in a moment. But like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like to like play some games, but I don't really have time. But if I monetize it, as in like I stream it, then
make it work.
Then I make it work. And it's the same with my hobby. So now I've given myself, so I work 7 days a week, but I've now given myself Tuesdays, quote unquote, off.
Yeah.
Because I run events at the weekend and Monday to Friday, but I actually still stream, because I'm going to paint on Tuesdays to get my hobby goals done. So then
paint during the day, make that a stream, and then stream video games when he's at home. So he gets 2 little treats.
Yeah, so I'm basically just like, these are the things I enjoy, but like
you can make content out of it.
I can make content out of it.
That's what I mean when I'm like at the weekends, I start a painting project because it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone who's going to be like, that's really unhealthy or whatever it is. But right now,
me?
Yeah, I mean, working so that you can just like.
I mean,
some people have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to live.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at how I am now in comparison to where the hours I used to work when I was at workshop or all the other jobs I've done in the past. I definitely work harder now than I ever did before. But no one's forced me to do that. And I know I've said like I edit till 3 a.m. or whatever. But that's all my choice because I want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like zazzed to get this thing edited.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm like, if I film on Mondays and I film on Tuesdays and I edit on Monday nights, then I can do the VO on Tuesday and then I can do the camera stuff on Tuesday. What I should do is probably give myself another few more days so I can do like the other, go out and do some B-roll from other areas and stuff. Maybe on Wednesdays when Liz is at home, maybe like, hey babes, can I use the garden? Can you film me, please? She'll be like, do we have to keep using the same cherry tree that's not been cut? I was like, okay, can we go somewhere else then? But you're the camera
can we cut the cherry tree?
Take me to the park, Mom.
Maybe I could be cutting the cherry tree and talking about the thing I'm doing.
You have a cherry tree?
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you get cherries?
No,
like edible.
No, it's like a cherry blossom one.
Oh, those are
that's so nice.
It's very pretty, next to a pond. It's very zen, the garden.
I don't think I've ever seen your garden.
No, because it was probably cold and wet when you came around.
Probably.
We're still we're
going to come over soon.
Yeah.
I'm Zaz too, and that basically was what it was. Like, what stuff am I Zazzed about? And it's like, so it's like Mondays now is like I do always do the Agency Mars show. That's what I do on Mondays. Then I play Total War in the evenings, and Tuesdays I paint, and I just take the time off. And I finished the stream, and I just carried on painting for a bit because I was like, it's my day off. I can this is my hobby.
That's good.
Do you know what I mean?
I should change the faction for Total War.
Oh, for Total War. So on Monday, I started playing as the new golf gag man-eaters.
Yeah.
I was just playing as ogres and running around being like, I want some mate. I want some mate.
The most vegetarian ogre stream we've ever seen.
but it's really fun because also like there's going to be loads of games that come out in the future. Like when Baldur's Gate came out, I fucking destroyed my production of videos because I was like, all I want to do is play Baldur's Gate. And
I think you did very well maintaining at least a mild work-life balance during the Baldur's Gate times.
But it's a great game, though. But I could just be like on Mondays, I'm like, cool, we're going to play this for like 3-4 hours, and that's fun, and that kind of like hopefully like take that fix out sort of thing.
Because Rob craves downtime. One of the big things is because Rob works so hard, his brain is fried constantly.
Yeah,
so you can see him craving anything, which kind of like helps his brain. But most of that just ends up in him just like crashing out completely.
So I'm just trying to structure my downtime through the week, and then Wednesdays I do Square Base with Val, which is super good, and I love to make loads of oil content. And then Thursdays I'm now doing tier lists, which is fun. Although today we just fucked it off. Everyone was like, "Do you want to just look at the Patreon sculpts?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Nice.
So we did that. And then Friday I'm now going to do lore videos because one of the other things I actually
Rob's doing lore videos
when I did my schedule.
I know, we're looking at him. We're all
hold on. They're really quick to edit.
We're all giving him the face.
No, one of the things when I wrote my schedule out, that I really struggle with is like
apologize to Remembrance.
I'll apologize to all the lore videos as I sit down and read a book challenging for me. I'm good, but apologize.
You could just stop being a bitch.
Okay.
Easy.
No.
Just doubles down.
What I'm trying to say is, so like when I looked at my schedule, and Peachy must be the same thing. So the new squat book comes out on Saturday. The new one. It's got all the lore from like the squats. The first time it'll be out.
What, Votan? Do you mean?
No, squats from Ironhead Squats from Necromunda.
For Necromunda.
Yeah. So like it's all
the good. I like that we're like, no, not Votan. Squats. Idiot.
Yeah. So like, and that'll be like all fleshed out, and it's the first time it's out, sort of thing. So I'd love to find the time to read it, but if I look at my schedule through the week, unless it's Tuesday where I'm having that time off, there's no time really. Mm-hmm. But it's something I want to do, but honestly, I really don't see it.
That's why I said we've been like 11 o'clock at night. You're like, this is my reading time.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'll be able to like maybe I want to have non-wargamey stuff in that time.
You got to get away from it.
I didn't assume you were reading wargamey stuff.
But I could read Necromunda stuff then, but no, thank you. But anyway, so I'm going to do that on like Fridays, and then the thing is though, is reading it at like 2-3 hour blocks, still going to take a couple of weeks, right? So like, maybe putting that all together. But I talked with the chat about it today, and I was like, I have no idea where this would live. Because everyone was like, what are we going to read on Friday? And I was like, well, I really want to actually do the Uruk Warclans book. Because even though I know orcs, if I say to you, the Uruk Warclans for HCMY, you're like, you know them. Yeah. But tell me anything.
They have...
You don't know really.
They've got a big green foot. Yeah. And they sometimes like to chant it into existence.
Perfect, yes.
Done.
And is that the Iron Jaws and the Bone Split?
Yeah. No, Bone Splitters are dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bone Splitters are out of the game.
Yeah. They're phasing.
Made for them.
They're phasing out Bone Splitters because I think they're a bit like on the Savage Orc element.
Yeah.
So Savage Orcs. They just got Savage Orcs and give them a new name.
My name on Instagram is Savage Orc Guy, and I'm like, that is dated now. I feel like I should change that. It's a bit problematic. Like when you start getting like orcs with like bones through their noses, being like, we're the savages.
We do
exactly. So I think
not as problem because that's like something they've been for a long time. Not
it's something they were for a long time, and I think they've been slowly phasing it out. And I think like the Savage Orc kits were like the last bastion of that, even though...
Yeah, I'm just saying that they released like some models in 2022 called like the Dark Oath Savages.
Yeah.
And I was like... ooh, don't do that.
Either way, yeah, but at least I didn't have like freaking bones through their noses.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So like the Savage Orcs were like my favorite kits and stuff, and like my whole snake bite theme is like
barbarian orcs, though, aren't
yeah,
they, really?
exactly. But I think it's when they start doing themes from like African tribes and then start labeling it as savages.
Yeah.
And
it's like those Bone Reapers, they're like skeletons, but Japan. And you're like, cool. But they're like, okay, like orcs, but Africa. You're like, okay,
don't love this. Don't love this. This is bad.
Stop that.
This is not good. So I'm thinking about changing my Instagram handle, but maybe not because I've had it for so long.
I think if you change it to Rogue Hobbies, that would work. You've got that on Blue Sky now, and that's fine.
Maybe I'm over 100,000 subscribers now. Yay!
Pop off.
Maybe even if I lose a few, that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm really
on what, Blue Sky?
No, God no. It's
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Oh yeah, you got those on there.
So lore videos.
Yes.
But like, so I was with Age of Sigmar. So like with Necromunda, I'm like, I don't know where I would put that.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's a Necromunda video. They're like, why? Like, you don't do this.
Yeah.
You need to do your dedicated Necromunda channel first before you start doing
maybe,
content for it.
but also I'm kind of like, I feel like that's putting the perfect before the good, and I might just enjoy the process sort of thing. Or I could do the Savage, not the Savage Orcs, I could do the Uruk book, because actually, truthfully, almost no one reads lore. Like in the out of those battle tome sorts of things. So I could just be like, I'll read that and see what that's like.
No one makes Age of Sigmar lore videos.
A couple people do.
I'm so sorry.
I'd say that they're fine.
I'm so sorry as well for Rob saying that. I don't know what I'm more sorry for.
But also, I don't really want to make lore videos. I more want to like, it's like a book club, but this is how I've described it. It's like a book club where you're reading along together versus getting together at the end and having a chat.
Yeah.
Like, that's the sort of thing. And it's nice when it's like 200 people and you.
I did that with the Trug lore when Trug came out.
Exactly.
And we had the funnest time.
Isn't it fun when you involve other people?
Because it was so silly.
Yeah.
It was such bonkers bullshit and I loved it. It was silly bonkers town and I had the best time. Yeah, it was really good fun reading along with the chat.
It's really fun. It's really fun because people also like are weirdly like, we did the Cities of Sigmar lore. I did a video like doing that. The same process, right?
Yeah.
So like I've done a bunch of prototypes and that was really fun because then someone was like, oh, it's like the war wagons in like Eastern Europe in X year. And
people
I was like,
smart.
And then I was like, what? Like, I don't know what that means. And then we like went on Wikipedia and it was quite clear that like Talia Vedra is specifically based off this like lady from like Eastern European 1400s like war stuff. And you're like, I didn't know that. And if it wasn't for there being a couple of hundred people in the chat.
People are smart.
They are a lot of smart people.
And they bring a lot of their own personal experiences to it as well. And that's really fun. So doing that Fridays. And then the last bit I want to add to what I do, this is a major thing for me, which I started editing last night, so I run events at the weekend. So what I want to do is I want to record people playing those games and then I want to edit them down. And eventually I'd like to record myself playing the games, not as I guess you would call it a battle report, but it would be playing in a tournament. So it'd be slightly different because like I'd have all the cameras.
It's not a dedicated game for the camera. You are playing in a tournament and it's being recorded.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is it like doing like a highlight to like this? Like a sports highlight show, like where it goes through like these games happen. This is
so I already kind of do that. Like
he does roundups.
Yeah, so like we had an event at the weekend, and so I made like a 20-minute video at the end where I'd like film through the weekend, and I like said who won, showed off all the painted armies.
I should probably show my age. Like when like Derby County would play football, they wouldn't do a 90-minute show. There'd be like a 20-minute version of.
Okay, so
the abridged version. Like
that's what I'm going to do. So
what is it? Tabletop.
It's called Tabletop in 10 minutes.
Tits. It's called Tits. We've got Tits and Juggz. Oh my God. Tabletop in 10.
Nice.
Thanks.
What are we going to do for boobs?
Beasts of overly
or nips.
breasts. Nice.
It is indeed called Tits. Yeah.
Well, Rob's got Tits and Juggz. So
Tits and Juggz. So I started editing yesterday and Jesus, it's fucking long because it's a 3-hour game.
Oh, was that the video you were slogging through?
You're slogging through yesterday.
Slogging.
Yeah,
you were slogging.
So what have I got? 5 camera angles and it's like, it was a 3-hour game. So what I did yesterday. So
he called me being like, Louise, I hate it.
yeah, for someone with ADHD, that's the other thing. I want to like schedule everything and set goals and stuff because it's quite clear. I'm like, when I have too many things to do,
riddled.
You just fall apart. Right?
Yeah, Rob called me. He's like, I'm finding anything to do except for edit through this footage, and I need help.
It was a nightmare. But I'm halfway through the first draft. I honestly don't know how long it's going to take it. I'd like to do one a week eventually, and then what I'd like to do is have one a week that I pass off to an editor. Yeah. That's kind of the goal. So that's a goal doable. I have this year because so when I have an event, obviously like I record a table, that's 5 games over a weekend, which if I had an editor, that would be 5 videos I could release. Obviously that's a stupid amount of videos.
You do already release a stupid amount of videos.
Yeah, but they don't have a lot of numbers,
you
right?
make me look bad. I
just do one a week.
Yeah, that's loads.
Okay.
That's like the magic number.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
You both do wonderful, and you should be proud of yourselves. You kick my ass all the time.
I do not.
That's true. But like anyway, but like I would like to showcase those games, but like I've got to just do the work myself. So I was slogging through it yesterday. I got another, and the problem is I got another event this weekend, which is a cinema event. So I'm going to record because that was an old world event last week. So then this weekend I'll obviously record people playing more games. And now I'll be like, and what happened last year is I did this for a couple of weeks, and I was like, I've got 10 games of footage. What do I? And it just collapsed on me because I was like,
the issue with you is that your weeks go so quickly.
Yeah.
Because Monday you're streaming, Tuesday you're streaming, Wednesday you're streaming, Thursday you're streaming, and then Friday you're streaming, and then you spend half the day cleaning up for events, which then you do the events, and it's Monday and you're streaming again.
Yeah.
When are you doing?
It's because like I think being really sensible is like you got to prove yourself, right? Like I think with the events, I want to because I would like to long term. I'd love to get us to have a venue like that we own. Right, it's probably unrealistic.
Bunker.
A bunker.
Bunker.
MOD guys, let us know.
Yeah, please do. But you have to prove yourself, right? Like I think like you have to prove yourself to the community, and you'd be like, because who knows? Like maybe we'll eventually make enough money, but probably based on how I'm doing right now, it's unrealistic, right? It's the same with buying a house. Like most people are like, I'm working really hard, but I'll never be able to buy a house.
If I was at my job for Games Workshop, I would not be able to buy a house.
No.
Exactly.
I don't know how
that prospect is so far.
Yeah,
away.
Literally. Like
even after retirement, you'd be like, nope, still can't afford.
Yeah, like I was living paycheck to paycheck pretty much, and I don't have a lot of like outward expenses or anything. Yeah. Like I'm not spending huge amounts of money ever. But I would never have been able to afford a house.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I think I've got to prove myself to the community and just be like, look, so, even if eventually it ends up as a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe, or I don't know.
That's interesting.
Hey, by the way, if you're out there and you're so rich, you could just buy me a building.
Rob is looking for a sugar mummy. Is what daddy. Or anything. Non-gender conforming sugar.
It's no different than Dragon's Den going, you get a part of the business or whatever. Or
none of that. No part of the business.
If you're rich, Rob, and he's got a cute face, can I do a pitch for Rob? Look down the camera. He's so cute. Buy him a house.
No, not a house.
Far away from me.
Wow. But yeah, you got to prove yourself, right? And I think that's true with the content that we all make. Because you always turn up, you're always there, you're always like, I'm making the videos I'm making. And that's why I think people support people on Patreon and stuff. So like doing the events, and then also with these battle reports, I want to like turn up, I want to be like, look, I want to do it. And then people are like, cool, I want more of this. I'm like, the only way to get more of this is support me on Patreon so I can hire an editor. That's the only way.
It kind of physically is. Like, you're not even being facetious there. Like, you do not have enough
I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
I often edit Juggz while I'm running an event.
That's not
someone's like a rule question. I'm like, what is it?
He's not withholding it from you, because a lot of things on Patreon, it's like, oh, well, you don't get this unless this. It's like, no, Rob literally doesn't. He's not withholding it. He does not have it.
Yeah. But that's to say, I'm not remotely upset with what my schedule is. Like I'm thrilled.
I'm jazzed.
You
to have more time off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone would, but like it's
obviously,
the same with because
but you have zero.
Yeah, but I had this the other day. Like Tuesday was my day off, right? And then I was like,
But is it your day off?
Well, no, Tuesday afternoon. Well, we saw Nosferatu.
Oh my God, we saw Nosferatu.
It's
so good.
Wrong.
It's amazing.
That's who it's for, Peach.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Okay, Louise, what's been happening since we saw Nosferatu?
So not to spoiler Nosferatu, but essentially it's fucking Nosferatu. Do you know Nosferatu?
Yeah.
He's a decrepit, ancient personification of
It looks like
evil.
me on a bad day, right?
Yeah. Well, no. It's worse. In this new one, it's worse. Like it's incredible makeup they do on this guy.
Yeah.
But he is gross. He is like, he's rotting, like his skeleton's all out there. He sounds like he smells terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they did that, but he's essentially just he's like the personification of the plague, right?
Yeah.
Nosferatu. It's fucking crazy. But the girly pops on TikTok are fucking feral. They fucking love him. They're like, the one thing I've seen, right? It's like, you know what the real thing that, just really turned me off Nosferatu is that they gave him a mustache. And I'm like, girlies, can we sit down? Are we okay? Like,
is this actual TikToks, real life TikToks, not nothing in world?
No, yeah.
The girlies, they all love serial killers.
The girlies, the girlies fucking love Nosferatu.
Why did it? Okay, so
and they're like the one thing that really didn't do it for me is this fucking. They gave him a mustache. Like, ooh, can you imagine that kissing you? And I'm like, he has no teeth.
Okay,
he is rotting from the inside. He's been dead for 600 years. Are we okay?
Let me explain something to Peach. Okay, let's. Okay, sorry. So, interview with a vampire. Yeah,
love it.
The vampires are very fuckable.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, you agree.
Agree.
Right, okay, perfect.
So we've established the grounds for fuckable vampires.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, right. Okay.
Twilight.
So, Twilight. Thank you, Louise. Fuckable vampires, yes or no?
Yes.
No! No, Pete. See? Would you like Nosferatu? Yes, you would like Nosferatu. Why? Because for some reason, vampires make you lot go frothy. And I have no idea why.
It's like, yes, absolutely, yes. Yes, I'm going to fuck that vampire.
His argument.
I thought that's where he was going. I thought that was an example of a fuckable vampire.
Exactly, because you've got the mindset.
No, because you don't understand women. Like, this is the thing. Like, men
No,
don't...
I do understand. That's my point.
No, you fucking don't understand women. Because men...
Look at me,
men are always like, oh my God, I'm like fat, but I'm funny, but obviously girls won't date me because, I'm kind of like fat and I've got kind of, I'm bald and stuff. And women are like,
talking about me.
No, it's talking about me.
Oh my God,
no one will
both of
date
you.
me. Look at Mr. Peach.
Oh my God, you are both very loved. Jesus. No, but what I mean is like, men don't understand how little women care about the way a guy looks.
Okay.
Like they saw Nosferatu and he just had like kind of a horny vibe. He was just like, of just like the bar is so fucking low.
I tell you who that's provable with is Meatloaf.
Oh my God, yeah, right? Meatloaf.
Yeah, like Meatloaf.
Jack Black?
Yeah, I think Jack Black's turned a corner now, sadly.
Is he a fuckable vampire?
No, not anymore, sadly.
Sad F.
But
Meatloaf, right?
Meatloaf, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, Meatloaf shouldn't be sexy, but Meatloaf sexy as fuck, apparently.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
True.
Like,
ladies throwing underwear.
Yeah, so Peach, I think we've proven that you would like Nosferatu.
Yeah, you would love Nosferatu.
Probably.
Yeah,
it's horny on Maine.
Yeah.
It's
which is what we're going to talk about during the Patreon video.
What, are we doing a Nosferatu exclusive?
No.
Where we point about the amount of titties we saw. I saw a
Was
penis.
it a lot?
There was a penis,
wow.
which is rare.
No way.
Bring that up.
It's rare because whenever there's a titty, you have to go titties.
Yeah.
Like that's the rule.
That's actually what she does.
Literally, like titties.
Yeah. Every time.
But there's never a penis. I was like, penis?
Weird.
And it was.
Weird. Sure, it just wasn't a big finger.
I could have been actually.
Yeah,
there was a lot of.
But there's going to be so much. I think what's really exciting for all three of us is going to be so much for us all to talk about over the next year. And I just want to say special thanks to
many titties.
Yeah, special shout out to the Juggz community because we will be at Adepticon, we'll be at like ChillCon, and that's just that's a salute, and that's just
all of us together as well.
Yeah, and that's just the start of like that's the first quarter of the year. So there's so much more, and then like so many experiences to like grow and talk about. So that's super fun.
I can't wait.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So it's gonna be a really fun year for Juggz and really fun year for all of us. I
just hope I don't screw it up.
You won't. No, you won't.
Is that actually something you worry about
every day?
Louise, is it something you worry about
every day?
All right, perfect.
But not him. He's too good. I deserve to worry.
Okay, all right.
Who's your shout out, Rob?
My shout out for the week.
Oh no, I need to think.
I've got one.
I'm gonna shout out Tom. Like, Tom's been great. So Tom, who works with me and Louise, he's great. He's been super fun. He's designed some really boring stuff this week.
He's been doing trees
and hills. And he's like, Rob, I don't want to do this. I want to do goblins. I'm like, I understand.
I'm the fun mum.
Yeah. I'm like, I need a tray for minis. And he's like, this sucks. But yeah, he's been doing good. There's my hill. It's my hill, everybody.
Ooh. It's a nice hill.
Show me Oh, she's 2 parts.
That's a feature, not a mistake.
That's a feature. Anyway, so Tom's my man this week.
There's a guy I've been watching some videos of at the moment, which I quite like. He gets classic army figures, like the 54mm ones. You know, you just get your grey.
Yeah.
He paints them up. His name's James Viola. He's got a YouTube page, but he recently did some like G.I. Joe ones. That's how they came onto my radar. But yeah, I thought I'd give him a little shout out. Wow, someone's having a right good
big old
session out there.
Beepy time to be alive.
It is a big time to be alive. Oh God, I hope that never happens again. But yeah, James, your channel's great. Keep on painting large scale plastic toy soldiers.
Love that. I want to shout out, I don't know their name. I think it's Andrew. Maybe it's not. But whoever runs Statuesque Miniatures, because I ordered a bunch of their miniatures.
The same person. The sergeants?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got the sergeants, and I got a cloth goblins, and I got a Doug, and I got a bunch of other miniatures. And I just love their stuff. And their sculpting style is so nice, and their miniatures are so nice. I want to shout them out because they always have nice miniatures.
They have the best. And also, it makes Louise a weird dude about stuff.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't know why, but it does.
It does.
All right, okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.